yours too.
All right. We started talking about the game and we weren't even live yet. So, welcome. This is Biggest Geekest channel. We are live playing Horde Wars again with DM Blackwall at the helm, and I will turn things over to him. And welcome to everyone who's joining us, either in the chat or lurking, or after the fact in video.
Yeah, welcome. So last time the party did something kind of brave, maybe a little dumb. They went after a dragon, and they were wise in that they didn't go after the biggest, scariest dragon that they could, and managed to win, barely. They almost all died. One or two of them did die, and resurrection magic was actually needed. Now, tonight, Randy couldn't join us, at least not at this point. He's got some things going on. So, I think probably Brian or Tim are going to do the best recap.
2 sessions ago, we infiltrated Drakaran Castle. We got information, we went back, and then we decided we're going to go back and slay a dragon that is below the castle.
Mm-hmm.
We slayed the dragon. We ran into a lot of trouble doing it. We lost a couple people, but we resurrected them. And we ended up with a good haul of loot to bring back with us through the flame gate.
Yes, you did. You guys were like scooping it in after yourselves.
Scrooge McDuck style.
Yes. And so you're currently back at Fireheart Keep, having gotten there from Rudcon Castle. You're probably going to be resting for the next day or two, especially the recently deceased.
Yes. They were only mostly dead.
But I've been mostly dead all day. So.
Yes. Well, I think, weren't there 3 people that were unconscious at the end of...
Uh-huh.
There were 3 unconscious folks, and 2 had to be...
2 of us were actually
dead. Yeah, two people had to be taken to the church.
And it was the 2 healers, actually, that were actually dead.
Yeah, so we still have a healer, even though we're missing one. What do you not have that Randy does, apart from Freckles?
I mean... so I'm a priest, so I've got healing touch and raise dead.
He has healing shout, right? Something like that.
So,
Yeah,
so
he's
TikTok. So TikTok cannot, compared to Dominus, cannot reactively heal.
Okay.
Right.
And he also has that feature where you can feed somebody a potion and they get 20 instead of 10. So do you have that, Tim?
I do not.
Okay, so, healer is in quotes.
Right. I'm more...
He's a perfectly viable healer. He isn't as good as the dedicated healer.
Right. So we'll put it... I guess we will take off the quotation marks and put an asterisk next to it.
Yes. But that's what had been going on. Now, I have a game element. Let me see if I can open it here.
I really thought we were going to go back and get Steven. Was that his name?
Peter the Porter.
Peter the Porter. Poor Peter.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to do that, you totally can. I got the impression that, one, whatever's happened to him has happened. He's dead, he's enslaved, or he's hiding out with the halflings, or something. Something has occurred.
Something not nice.
Enough time has gone by. But the question is, if you are going to go after Peter now, especially the Drakarans would definitely be on the lookout after you slaughtering a dragon under their castle.
Correct. So their defenses are going to escalate.
Yeah. So you could do that. You could also kind of rest on your laurels and spend some of the money you've acquired, or you could deal with the threat that has emerged behind you. Because after resting for a day, let me look here. Thogbar is woken up by a messenger who looks very excited. He goes,
What do you want?
sir, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm told, but the town said to go get our heroes back.
What town?
Grimstead.
What do they want us back for?
He says,
You're waking me up. I'm not in a good mood right now.
well, I'm sorry, but hundreds of goblins have come pouring out of the caves of Abaddon.
Oh, goblins are a lot easier than a dragon. At least individually.
Agreed.
What?
Also,
Right.
it started smoking for some reason.
And what started smoking?
The caves.
Oh, I thought you said that you had started smoking. For some
No,
reason.
not him. They didn't light Larry on fire.
Whatever gets you
Please
through
help
the
us,
day.
and I have started smoking.
I didn't feel like that's something you needed to tell everyone, but if you're that
And
excited,
the problem is the cave is a no smoking area.
And that's the crime. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I was going to say,
You have to
in
enforce
Michigan,
it.
any indoor area is technically
This is
no
going to be big fines if they're smoking in a cave.
Exactly.
So we get to enforce a stupid authoritarian law. Awesome.
Those are the best kind of authoritarian laws.
We love
The
authoritarian.
stupider, the better.
Yeah.
So young'un, how do you propose we actually get back to Grimstead really fast since, well, we no longer have horses or wagons?
Well, you could climb in the back of the cart I arrived in,
We could,
or maybe
But-
the Crusaders would loan you a horse.
but we have a few items here to take back with us that I think is going to load down your cart if we do that. So
Are we all sleeping with Thogbar?
No, not currently.
Okay, so
I will wake the others, but go find someone that can sell us, or find somewhere where we can purchase some wagons and maybe a couple war horses, and meet me
Well, that's a
back here.
different thing
And
than waking up the others. Which thing are you trying to do first?
I'm going to wake up the others. I'm sending the little kid, the messenger, to go
Mhm.
find somebody where we can buy stuff and meet me back here.
The kid's like, I'm supposed to tell them.
You're supposed to tell who? The others?
Yeah.
Fine, you wake up the others. I'll go find the stuff.
Okay.
Good luck
Wait.
waking them up. Be
way to
careful.
let an errand boy tell you what to do, Thogbar.
Oh no. By the way, Durkan is nasty in the morning. Good luck.
Morning breath. Woof.
So
Yikes.
Thogbar is then off to the. Actually, where are you going to try to find this?
I'm trying to remember the guy's name, that the second in command, or the commander, not the commander, but the warrior that we dealt with. The guy
Yeah,
that
we were asked to go do something, and we haven't actually reported back yet. I don't think.
I believe you did last session.
and I didn't write down his name. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So we
But-
have told them what the
Stefano?
dealio is.
I'm pulling up his name right now.
So we have told the our benefactors or our quest giver the results, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do.
Absolutely, and
Oh,
they are
okay.
they are thrilled with your activity. It's Sir Godfrey you were asking about.
Sir Godfrey.
I'm gonna go look for Sir Godfrey.
Absolutely. All right, Larry. Let's see here. Thogbar going to look for Sir Godfrey. Eventually finds him on the on one of the towers facing south. So towards the Dracarans.
Okay.
And you approach him. What do you say?
Good morning. Sorry.
He looks over at you and goes, "Oh, yeah, I suppose it is still morning. Looks
Yes.
up at the sun. Not much of it left, but yeah."
Sounds like we are being summoned back to Grimstead to take care of a bunch of goblins, and I'm wondering, somewhere around here, if we can purchase a wagon and some war horses. Preferably a war wagon, but a...
Well, he thinks for a minute. Larry, roll a d4 to see what traveling merchants in the area.
One that we can buy a Flamegate spell from.
2.
2. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since you had interacted with Morwyn with a 2. He goes, "Well, I suppose you might be able to buy that carriage from Iron Bell Shipping, although I'm not sure how much they'd charge for it."
A carriage? Uh,
All right.
That's-
Well, I guess I go find
Because
out.
other than
That'll
that,
get us around.
we got some hand carts that we could spare, but I can't really authorize giving away wagons if we're about to mount a military campaign.
I understand. That's why I'm here asking you, sir.
Yeah.
You have been kind to us.
Oh,
As
we
much
do
as
have about
need.
a half dozen donkeys.
Huh.
Could use those to get back to Grimstead.
That might work. Couple asses.
Yes.
carrying
Someone
others.
More than what we already have.
Yeah.
They can serve to be pack mules too, because I've got a little extra than I can carry, just a little.
Yeah. So if you guys wanted to get those, the donkey stat block is right by the Dracarans who normally ride them in the monster shack.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if there were donkeys. I was just assuming that the two steeds in the character section were what we had to pick from. In the monster section?
In the monster section on page 92.
92.
As written, anyway.
92. Donkey. 100 marks.
Yes.
Beast of burden. That's what we need.
So he does mention that to you as a possibility. Meanwhile, pounding on the door of Varbrak is a child.
I open the door. What do you want, kid?
He's like, he looks up at you. "The people of Grimstead asked me to come and get our heroes back.
Oh,
Hundreds of goblins are attacking the town."
oh, we've got to get back quick. I grab all my stuff.
"I brought a cart."
I don't want to go into the cart.
All right. Wake up all the rest of these guys with me.
Cool. He heads over with you to TikTok's door and begins pounding on the door.
All right.
TikTok, wake up. Open up. We got to go. Grab your
Wow.
stuff.
Okay.
I open the door myself. Hey, get up. And I grab his feet and I shake his feet.
You know, I was dead yesterday. All right, get up, grab my stuff.
The kid repeats what he just said to Varbrak, to you, going, there's like a bunch of goblins. They came out of the caves of Abaddon, and the caves are smoking.
Goblins are better than a dragon, but smoking's bad. I hear it's bad for you.
No, it's fine for you. It puts hair on your chest.
Yeah, you may be right.
Finally, they get to Durkan's door. At this point, Durkan is probably roused by 3 different people pounding on his door.
Yes. Actually, what happens is they get ready to pound on the door, and I open it before they get a chance. And it's, I know you're there. Go away.
You know why we've got to go then?
Yeah. And as he's yelling, you guys are going from his morning breath because it is really, really, really bad. So, do we have a vendor in town we can buy a scroll from?
Well, we could try. I mean, I guess there's only one way to find out.
So I gather up my stuff and I say, hey, Varbrak, hold this. And I give him my potion of healing because it's my one item over my limit.
I hold the potion in my hand.
Yes. And
just a reminder, you guys do know that there is a wizard staying at the inn who does have scrolls. He just didn't have an unlimited supply, and you guys bought him out of his teleportation magic.
Oh, that's true, that guy.
Yep. So that would be your main scroll option. Otherwise, you can go see the traveling merchant, as you have no idea what Iron Bell shipping even sells.
Okay, so someone go to Iron Bell. I will talk to the wizard that we already know. So I kind of have a rapport with them already.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you head over to go speak with him. The wizard is. Oops, that rolled off the table. There we go. The wizard is currently dueling a cocky-looking nobleman as you arrive. As you arrive by the inn. There's a crowd placing bets heavily in favor of the wizard, though the nobleman looks confused by this.
Okay, well, I suppose while either Varbrak and or TikTok are looking for the main vendor for town, I will wait and see what the results of this duel will be, so I can talk to this guy.
Certainly.
Hopefully he doesn't get killed.
Do you choose to place a bet?
Sure, I will place 50 crowns on him winning.
The man who is taking care of the bets hears the amount and almost faints. He goes, certainly, my lord.
What are the odds anyway? I probably should have asked that first. It's the person taking bets have odds.
The odds are 4-1 against the knight,
Okay.
which the knight is very surprised by, since he's fighting an old man in a robe.
Okay.
Thought, you think they have enough to pay it out?
Well, they better.
Of course, that means your odds are 1-4, so really your payout's like 25%. But anyway, so because the odds are against the knight and you're betting for his opponent.
Right.
But they roll for initiative and you watch the knight move forward, nimbly attacking the wizard, and the wizard simply stands there as the knight's blows bounce off the air. The wizard then turns and misses and then scores a critical hit with his staff. Where are those dice? dealing 22 doubled 44 damage. Yeah, he takes out the knight in one hit.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Who goes flying backwards and then is well, yes, of course. It was a spell, Arnie. And then moments later, bets are changing hands, and the knight is being treated for his injuries. You managed to earn an extra 12 crowns and 5 marks. And then the wizard turns and says, "Oh, so good to see you again.
Yes.
You lived, huh?"
Yes, barely.
We slayed a dragon.
Well, so how'd it go?
Well, even though the initial contact, you know how things go. You have a plan, things happen, things go awry, and we barely pull it out by the skin of our teeth. It was a team effort, and we made it. A couple people had to get revived after the fact, but we made out really well.
All right. So, how can I help you?
Well, hoping that we might be able to get some more flame gate off of you. A flame gate scroll, or maybe you could cast the spell for us. We have to get back to Greenhaven. Is that the name of it?
Grimstead.
Grimstead. There's a G in it. So Grimstead in a hurry. Apparently they're beset by hundreds of orcs or hundreds of goblins.
All right. Well, I'm not really that kind of wizard. I suppose I could scry and open a gate. Or I could make one of you fly.
That's one of us. I don't know how that helps.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you have more wizards.
I mean, we have me, who does not have the ability to fly.
We can all fly. It's just landing that's the problem.
And the lack of trebuchets to get you in the air. Yeah. So he's his best suggestion is that he could scry and then cast his Aesir's bridge.
Right.
Which
that works.
Which can get you there, but he's like, well, it'll cost you.
Okay.
Now, people are in distress, so half off. But still, it's 2 spells at 25 crowns a spell.
Is that the half off?
That's half off.
Okay, 50 crowns. Let's cough it up, guys. Divided by 4. I'm just going to pay him, but we'll settle up. And then we're going to probably, I'm pretty sure we're just going to head right over there. We have to scrounge up Thogbar, though.
Oh, sure. I'll see you all in a moment. Meanwhile, the other 2 are getting armed and so on. Thogbar is, I believe, on his way to check out some mules.
I'm going to the Silver Bell Trading Company.
And yes, yep. But I was jumping back to Larry there. Thogbar.
So I walk over to where Sir Godfrey sent me, and I forget the name of it already, so sorry. And I basically walk in and say, "Donkey!" Because I'm going to be moved this morning.
The stable hand goes, "Oh, you want these things? Sure, they're stubborn jackasses, but we can sell them to you."
Yeah, give me a good deal then.
Well, there were...
Since you don't want them.
He goes, "No, that's true. I don't want them. They are worth 10 crowns apiece. How many do you want?"
How many do you have here?
I have a string of 7.
I might as well take all 7. I will save you some hay, whoever else you want to feed these jackasses, and I will
You went all robot on us, Mr. Elliott.
Yep, he's lagging. Give it a sec.
Oh, sorry. I will purchase all 7.
He goes, okay, certainly, sir. Why don't we say 40 crowns? That's about half off.
I will do that.
All right, so you get the string of mules and you lead them over to the rest of the party. Now there is an important thing to know about for mules. For the donkeys, I misspoke. For the donkeys, the main thing to know is the stubborn trait. So whenever combat begins, the donkey has 0 speed until the second round of combat.
Yes, but when they watch one of their own die, the other ones might actually take off.
Sure, in the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they live that long.
So in the right circumstances, they could be like having a war horse, but most of the time, that's just annoying.
Yeah.
All right. So you're hauling this string of donkeys behind you when you start catching up with the others. Meanwhile, Varbrak, Brian's character, is going over to Iron Bell Shipping.
Yes. As I approach the man selling, I say, "Hello, I'm Varbrak. I'm here to do business."
So you're walking up to a little stall set up next to a carriage that appears to be entirely constructed of black iron. At the stall is a halfling with curly black hair and an olive green cloak. He is accompanied by 2 orc berserkers. When you come up, he looks at you and goes, "It's so good to see you. Another orc. Delightful. Do you have a job?"
I certainly do.
Oh, that's disappointing. I can use some more muscle. What do you want?
Well, and I look at his black iron carriage. What do you want for that?
He looks back at the carriage. He says, "You want all of the contents?"
Oh, no, not all of the contents, maybe some of it. But what I really want is the carriage.
See, no. I'm more of the acquisition role. So I bring some hard currency to buy artifacts and treasures from people to then turn around and sell in other parts of the world.
Understood.
It
Well,
would
in
be
that
difficult
case,
to haul those items back without the carriage.
I understand. I would like to sell you a silver longsword.
Oh, certainly. It's intact, not like rusted out or anything ridiculous.
Well, here it is. I hand it to him. I say, "Take a look. What do you think?" This sword has killed a dragon.
Helped kill, anyway.
He doesn't know that.
He goes, "Well, I'll tell you what. I think I can do 40.
I could do 40 if you could throw in a buckler shield for me.
I don't have a standard buckler shield. As
What
I
do
said,
you
I'm an
have back
acquisition.
there? What do you have? Oh, so you said
So
you had
unlike-
some
So
content.
unlike the other traveling merchants who are bringing their wares to sell you, this guy is showing up to buy stuff.
Okay. Well, I will take 40 for the silver longsword.
Oh, absolutely. Any other exotic wares?
I look at my companions. I say, "Does anybody have anything to sell him?"
Well, you know that we acquired a gold scepter and an amulet from the dragon that my character is currently carrying.
That's true. So if you wait for Durkan to catch up,
Uh-oh, DM
I look over my
Blackwall.
shoulder. I don't see Durkan. I say, "Oh, sir, wait. We have something else we want to sell you. He's coming in a moment. I'll wait here with you."
You had a
Okay.
little bit of lag there.
how's
Mr.
it doing now?
Blackwall. Yeah,
Oh,
fine now.
can you hear me now?
Fine now. No, it wasn't you. It was Mr. Blackwall.
Okay,
Mr. DM.
so I then look at the two orcs and I say, "What's going on, fellas? How's the weather?"
The orcs. Did you ask them in Orcish?
Yes.
One of them goes, "What's your clan?"
I tell him my clan.
Sure, what is it?
Iron Tooth.
He spits and says something very insulting about your relatives.
I try to smooth
The
it
other
over and
orc
say,
laughs.
you know what? I don't like him either. That's why I'm here.
I'm Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod.
So that interchange goes pretty well. Meanwhile, you see approaching you out down the road, Thogbar hauling a bunch of donkeys. You also see Durkan, who appears to have just be loaded up with gear, as I believe you're at full inventory.
Full.
And then meanwhile, TikTok is off with the kid. What are you doing?
I'm just gathering my stuff and trying to figure out where the heck we're meeting to head out, or if we're taking a gate, or what we're doing. I'm not really looking to buy anything right now. Barely, just happy to be alive.
The kid goes, "I'm glad you're alive too." So
Yeah.
he's like, "So we should come with the others. Come on." He's trying to like lure you outside.
All right, I'm gonna go outside.
I put my fingers up and I whistle real loud. TikTok! TikTok, come here.
I'm coming.
Come here, boy. Come here.
All right. Now, as the rest of you are convening, Brian, you have the opportunity now to mention that there is a sales opportunity for some, treasure items.
Durkan,
Yes.
come here. Talk to this gentleman right next to me. He is an acquisition specialist. You have found a buyer.
Oh,
Show him your
good.
stuff.
So I grab out that gold scepter and amulet.
Mm-hmm.
The gold scepter is set with moonstones. Gold amulet is set with a blood diamond. The scepter is 100 crowns. The amulet is 250. That was what we were told. These were acquired at great peril from a dragon horde.
The halfling, Poro Bottomleaf, looks up at you and goes, "Which dragon?"
One of the dragons underneath the name of the keep where all the
Rukon Castle?
Dracarans, yeah.
He goes, "Okay, but if I'm going to sell this to people, I need like a name, a story."
Right. The Dracaran Castle. What's the name of that castle? I can't remember.
Well, the castle's name is Rudkon Castle. He's asking you the name of the dragon, and he's asking you a story.
Did we ever catch the name of the dragon? Did anybody ever tell us? You might have. I just don't remember.
I did, but you could make one up. Poro doesn't necessarily need the truth. He needs a story so that people will buy these things from him at a higher price than he's buying them from you.
Okay. someone whip up a random name generator for dragons. I'll give them a story. Right. So we were separated from our porter, Peter. Poor Peter. He's probably dead now. Taken by the Dracarans. And we went back to the castle, hopefully to get him back. But we ran into the dragon and happened to run into this dragon in his lair. We were sneaking in the basement of the castle, essentially. So, and caught the dragon sleeping, which was very fortunate for us. But our initial attacks, while they were okay, basically served to wake the dragon up and breathe fire, which we danced around some. Some of our companions fell to it. And then the rest of us rallied and slew mighty dragon. I don't know the name of.
Boogar the Great.
Booger the Great?
Boogar.
Yes.
Boogar.
Well,
the snot dragon.
that name maybe won't do the best in Mercia, but we can try it somewhere else. The others won't know.
Hey, why do they call you Booger?
Yes. All right, that'll do. 350 crowns I can do for that.
Oh, that's exactly what I was expecting.
Well,
Do you happen to have any wares from far off lands that you were wanting to sell to us?
Sadly, no. As I said, I'm in acquisitions. Other than I do have this very nice silver longsword, only 50 crowns.
Oh, look, that looks very familiar. Okay, so actually, instead of doing 450, instead of putting all 350 on my sheet, everybody gets 70. We're holding 70 for Randy.
Cool.
All right. Thank you for your patronage.
You're welcome. If you ever are in less of a hurry, I do have a small item I could use assistance with, but I'll see you later, I'm sure.
Oh, what is it? I ask.
There's a woman who's taken an unnatural dislike to me, and I wanted to buy something from her, but she won't sell to me just because I'm me. And I was hoping one of you would just purchase it for me.
How far would we have to go for this?
Oh, not far. She's in town, but it's fine. I can see that you're all in a hurry and rushing off somewhere, but when you're done.
Give me her name and tell me where she is.
The widow Gertrude. Her husband is, well, sadly, is no more. And he had a nice set of gauntlets I wanted to buy, and he was going to sell them to me, I think. But now the widow blames me for his death for some reason and won't sell them.
Okay.
What do you think, guys? Should we
let's
help him out?
I have a question, Mr. Merchant.
Yes.
Who do you acquire things for? You acquire things, but you're not willing to sell a lot. So why and who do you acquire them for?
Well, generally, I acquire them to sell in royal courts or those of dukes or counts or that sort of thing.
Where the markup won't be noticed.
Well, yes. Exotic wares. Very expensive.
I respect the hustle, I say.
All right. We're going to go on down the road, and you'll hear from us if we end up with the gauntlets, okay?
He nods.
All right, so let's head towards back over towards the tavern or the inn where we were staying. Once we get out of earshot, I will say, sounds a little sketchy.
Yeah, it does, but I gotta say I like sketchy.
Obviously, you are a non-person, so sketchy is okay to you.
Oh, I say, can we stop by the general store with all of the weapons and armor first? I need to pick something up.
Okay, let's not delay too much more. There's orcs killing people.
Oh,
Goblins.
this is
I'm not
going to
killing
help me
people
fight.
yet.
I mean goblins. Goblins.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I need to get a buckler shield.
Okay.
Although it would be really funny if you said that and all the orcs just kind of exchange glances and say nothing.
Yeah, they're like,
We're not killing people yet.
Just wait.
I'm having entertainment because I'm now whispering in Donkey's ear saying, you hear that? We kill things. Keep up or you're next.
Busy intimidating the donkeys. All right, Brian, you're trying to go buy something. What are you trying to buy?
You know the dwarf blacksmith in town. I want to go ask him if he's got a buckler.
In the town of Grimstead? You're not there yet.
Oh,
we're hoping to go through a gate to get to Grimstead. We are in we're at a keep.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but we're
Fireheart Keep.
Fireheart. Oh, there was fire in it. Yeah, Fiery Keep, Fireheart Keep.
Yeah. So you're looking for a man who is not here.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So,
anyway.
let's go over to the inn. Hop in the gate, then you can get your buckler.
So
If that's okay. If that's okay.
yeah.
what do you ask the wizard to scry? Because that will determine where he can open this gate.
Well, does he know a location within? I keep forgetting the name of the town.
Grimstead?
Grimstead. Yeah. Does he know the town of Grimstead?
He goes, well, I mean, more or less, sure. I could do like the chapel or something.
Okay, it's being attacked. That being said, we probably need to pick a place that we're not going to step right into the middle of the goblins, probably. Because they could even come through the gate when you open it, right? If you open it in the wrong spot.
It is a two-way portal for a bit.
Yeah. How about within the tavern? Can you do that?
Yeah,
That's
inside
kind
of the walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. He casts the spell, and you're able to see, Joe, into the tavern, where people appear. There's a much higher number of people in the tavern than there normally would be, certainly for the time of day. You know, it's the crack of like 11 in the morning, and yet the bar is full.
usually it's deserted in there. There's like the thieving wait staff and that gruff ranger dude, the woodsman who's doesn't have a very winning personality.
Yes. But no,
wait till they see the donkeys come into the bar.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy.
Fairly packed. The portal opens, and there's a portal suddenly in the middle of that inn's common room.
So I go first, and I step through and say, "Hey, I heard there were goblins here. Attack!"
I go next,
and I step out of the way. Make way for your heroes. Quote unquote.
I come walking through with all the donkeys.
Let's say, make the donkeys be happy.
Larry, does your character lead the donkeys through and outside, or are you just kind of filling all the empty space with donkeys?
No, I'm actually going to. I'm going to send the donkeys outside, but I'm basically tying them as they go so they don't go too far.
Okay.
And like at a.
They're now a shield.
What
Where they would normally tie off the horses at.
Yeah.
And TikTok, are you heading through?
Absolutely.
Cool. The portal closes behind you moments later, and the people in the inn say, several of them cheer as you arrive. Jenny gives you a hug, surprisingly. You probably should check your purse.
And, don't try your tricks on me. I'm immune to compulsion. So,
Yeah, how are you at pickpocketing?
pickpocketing? I'm not.
No, she's not asking you. I, the DM, am asking how you are at detecting pickpocketing.
Oh, I don't know.
I do it for a living.
Let's see if so Brian, go ahead and roll a burglary check.
I got a 10.
Okay, so Jenny lifts 4 crowns off of Durkan stealthily. He doesn't seem to notice, and you stealthily remove 4 crowns from her purse.
And don't tell Durkan, because
I'm not
he
going
will probably kill her.
I'm not going to. I'm just gonna hand Durkan later
Mhm.
the crowns when we're
Yeah.
out of this room.
Perfect. So you've arrived. The locals quickly update you on the situation. The kid is going to have to come and meet you here because, well, he could come through the portal. His wagon, not so much.
Yeah, I was thinking of leaving him behind so we'd be safe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You stay here, kid. You'll be safer. You never know.
You'll be safer, and you never know. You could join the Crusades.
As a kid, I guess
Yeah.
you could. They take all the help they can get.
Yeah. Use a signaling drum or something. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But they do update you on the situation, which is that a couple days ago, the caverns of Abaddon began smoking. Goblins came pouring out of it, attacking the outlying farms. And from what they can tell, goblins mounted on the backs of wolves are circling the area and actively probing the town's defenses. They have seen multiple groups of goblins, typically a group of 5 to 10 goblins each mounted on a wolf. But they've also seen, especially towards the twilight, goblins with cave trolls.
Oh.
Moving closer and closer to the town. Cave trolls, of course, don't get along so well with the sunlight, so whenever those are employed, it'll either need to be an overcast day, or it will need to be a day that, a time of day that it is in fact night, so that they don't have that whole die in sunlight issue.
Right. Okay. So it's not like the town is surrounded by an army of goblins.
Oh, it is.
Oh.
However, they don't know where the army is because of the mobile bands of warg riders attacking the outlying farms. They have no one outside the walls. Everyone who survived fled inside the walls to do any scouting. They have no idea where the goblin army is.
Okay.
Other than that it's nearby because they keep seeing these patrols.
All right. Well, I guess we can go out there and scout and slay and do things
Joe?
like that. What? Yes.
You have a scroll of fly. You could scout from the air.
Let me see. I still have that. That is not listed.
Didn't you buy one from the wizard?
No.
That was having the duel?
No. I got him to scry and create a gate.
Okay.
He said he could make us fly.
Yeah,
Okay.
Or make one person fly.
correct.
I did not buy a fly scroll. But There is something I could shapeshift into something. I have a shapeshift scroll,
Oh, true.
and
Yeah,
I could
you could be-
shapeshift into a bird,
Yeah,
and that would
like
be
a hawk or
unobtrusive.
something.
Yeah, yeah. Something that's not a game bird. That
Oh,
way,
look, a turkey. Shoot it.
yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Durkheim,
Ostrich,
it's what
it
for
doesn't
dinner.
fly.
Right.
So you want to do like an eagle or something?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. Go
I
ahead
mean,
and roll
I'm
an
sure eagles are big, and if you capture one, you could probably eat it, but they're not typically game birds, I don't think.
True. So go ahead and roll an investigate check. I believe eagles have a +5.
Investigate. +5?
Mhm.
Oh, good, because I don't have a plus anything. That's because of their tremendous eyesight.
Yep.
Ooh, I rolled a 12. So +5, 17.
Cool. That's very good. How good is your later when you return to physical human form once the spell runs out or once you dismiss it later? How does your character have combat training or history and law?
He has combat training.
Okay. So I'll have you roll now, although in eagle form you won't be thinking this way because currently you're busy being an eagle. But
Right.
later, contemplating it.
Oh, that was not a good roll. That was only a 1. So 3 altogether.
3 altogether. Okay. Yeah, you're as the eagle, you are able to scout out the goblin positions very easily. You can see that they have encircled the town. That there are about 100 goblins associated with associated wolves. But you do not see the main body of the goblins from the air, nor do you see the trolls. Of course, it's daytime. You wouldn't expect to see the trolls unless they've
Right.
died. But from what you can tell, there is evidence of movement pretty heavily from the caves of Abaddon, where there are like drag marks on the ground, or where enough goblins have moved through that they've actually made a small path, and this kind of thing. So you can tell a large number of them have been moving in and out of these caves in the last little while.
Does it look like the trails account for the amount of goblins present, or does it look like the trails represent more than what I can see?
More.
Okay. Huh. So I'm gonna. Oh, okay. This is what I contemplate after I've returned to human form.
So when you return to human form, what you'd be contemplating is how many goblins you think there are, and based on what you did find, where you think the army is.
Okay.
That you didn't do the best on, but you can easily describe what you've seen to the others and see if they have better tactical acumen.
Right. So I regurgitate in a
Like a mother bird.
Yes. No. I say, hey, there's about 100 goblins encircling the town. There's a lot of traffic, but it accounts for a lot more goblins than what I can see. And didn't get an exact count of wolves, but probably nearly the same amount in wolves as goblins. Didn't see any trolls because it's daytime. So that's what I saw.
Well, I would suggest that we take the lowest value coins we have and can scrounge up, and we get them within line of sight of us. We communicate to them that we're throwing money off of a cliff, and we get the whole lot of them to jump off for the money.
So you guys are going to want to roll for your tactical understanding of what's going on then. Joe's character will give you a detailed description of what he saw, but I want to see what you guys get out of that in terms of your skills. So you've got combat or history and law. Combat would be your actual tactical acumen. History and law would be more you relying on lessons that other people learned.
Using combat, I got a 12.
12
I rolled an automatic success
of what?
of combat.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 12 as well for a total of 14. So
Okay.
and
And which skill?
combat.
Combat. Okay. Then you guys quit. The rest of you, unlike the wizard, which I guess makes sense, quickly realize that the army that the goblins are deployed in such a way that not only are they actively encircling the town with patrols of goblins mounted on wolves, but that they are oriented as though their army is actually in the caves and growing. From what you can tell, from the way it's being described to you, they are bringing in more and more goblins and trolls from the surrounding region into the caves. As though a goblin king has arisen or arrived in your area, or maybe something greater that can command goblins.
So they got a recruiting drive going on. Probably a great sign-on bonus. Maybe we need to figure out what that is. It might be good.
Everyone, paint yourselves green. We're going to go get the sign-on bonus. No.
Yeah.
I'm currently
One
picturing
thing-
blazing saddles.
Yeah.
One thing we could try. We're in Grimstead. There are tools here. There are people here to help. We could consider trying to collapse the entrance of the cave to keep them all in.
Well, we have to deal with the 100 goblins surrounding town first, though.
Yeah.
Or at least, I guess it's possible we could bypass them and go right to the cavern. I guess. There's a lot more in there.
Yeah. From what you can tell, the patrols of the goblins, other than just keeping an eye on the town, appear to be designed to keep the townspeople contained.
So we're going to have to pick somewhere towards in the direction of the cave, or kind of try to fool them and go in the opposite direction. Basically fight our way through the line and then work our way to the cave that way.
Go the long way around so that they don't get the idea we're going straight to the cave.
Correct.
Yep.
Unless there is some sort of underground egress, like a tunnel. Maybe there's already a tunnel going underneath town through the sewers. I mean, this is a village, so it probably doesn't have a sewer.
Quite right. It does not.
Yeah.
But there could be something that some obscure person knows about that isn't a sewer, but maybe somehow secretly there's a tunnel made for war or something.
Now, the closest thing you know would be the crypts under the under the chapel, but that's like limited crypts, like literally just under and right around the chapel itself. They don't go anywhere, to your knowledge.
Right.
But yeah, if you guys want to get out of this, like they're designed to contain you basically from doing exactly what the kid did, which is getting out and getting help, or having the townspeople escape en masse.
It's interesting that the kid was able to do it. Maybe he did it because he was just the one kid and there wasn't a big group of them, or he did it before town was completely encircled.
Yep.
The four of
Anyway.
us might be able to sneak through, but it would be close. I mean,
Well, does everybody have...
Seeing a couple orcs come out of there might be a tip.
There's...
Yeah.
I know I have Shadow Stalker. I know at least one other person in the group has that.
I can do it with a magic item.
Doesn't TikTok have a Shadow Stalker? No? I thought
TikTok is a scald priest.
Right. Oh, Fogbar has it. 'Cause he's an assassin.
I have stealth, but yeah.
You also have Shadow Stalker.
Yeah,
you're
you
an
do. It's an
assassin.
assassin.
Oh, yeah, I do. Look at that. I haven't had to use that yet.
Well,
I
you haven't
think,
chosen to use that yet.
I think we're strong enough. We could probably kill 100 goblins.
I
Yes,
agree.
but how many more are going to come out as soon as they know there's a fight? If they're gathering in the cave as soon as there's a big fight,
How far away are the caves?
it's just going to take one or two of them to get away to bring reinforcements.
The
But
caves
that
are
represents amount of time, though, for them to go and come back.
Yeah. So how far, Mr. DM?
Yep. The caves are, let me pull up the description here. They're in the Limestone Hills, 24 miles southwest of Grimstead through the Witchwood.
So it'll take a couple of days to get reinforcements, at least.
No, not for them, because you have to remember, 24
Well, there are
miles would
wolves.
be about, yes, the wolves are the problem.
Yeah.
24 miles would be about as far as they could travel in a full day's march on foot, but they're not on foot.
Right.
Also, trolls aren't as slow as people. So if they wanted to reinforce at night, they would get there quicker.
So if we got there during the day and kicked a bunch of goblin butt, they could probably have reinforcements by the end of the day.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a couple days,
hmm
but it wouldn't
So,
be.
so
It wouldn't be a matter
starting
of
at night.
minutes or hours.
No.
So if we started at night, we would at least have more time before the trolls could come get to us.
I
Because
think
the trolls
doing it
have
at
to
night
wait.
is a bad idea because these guys are stronger at night.
Well, you are the only one, I believe, who can't see in the dark. So the others are also kind of stronger at night.
Only because they can see. I mean, the goblins, the trolls can't even operate in the daytime.
Correct.
But if we leave like an hour or two before daylight, then might be able to get through, and then we'll have all day to get to the cave and then do what we need to do, so that we're not worried about trolls. At least then we only got an hour or two.
What I'm going to do is mute my mic a moment and quick go use the bathroom. But if you guys would think about how you'd like to gather any additional information on this. For example, a skald in the party might try to think of stories or lore about this region or these kinds of goblin gatherings. Anything that would be useful. You might go do research in the chapel. You might do some kind of active but more targeted patrol. For example, if Joe has another use of one of those scrolls, he might attempt to, for example, get close into a group of the goblins and listen to what they're saying, and so on. So just give it some thought, and when I come back, let me know how you'd like to gather any additional information.
So we have a TV running.
Oh, hold on, it might be me. Hold on.
Yeah, that's you.
So, the other thing to think about is if we do this where we're going to try to collapse the caves on them, how are we going to collapse the caves? And how are we going to do it in such a way that it actually collapses all the caves, not just the entrance?
We probably need more guys for that. We probably need
Right.
more people hitting it with pickaxes, a lot of people at once.
Because if you just collapse the entrance, there's multiple spots where they can still come out. I mean, they'll
We
be
don't
more
know.
limited, but
The cave entrance is a choke point, though, as far as we know. So if we want to really stick it to them, we could concentrate all of our damage right there,
yeah,
Like you could fireball them when they're coming through and things like that. Set them on fire with
Right.
barrels of alchemist fire or something.
The question is going to be: where are the other goblins coming from? Are they coming through another cave that we're not aware of, or are they all coming through that one entrance?
I think they're mostly coming through the entrance. They're getting recruited from the region. That's why there's a lot of traffic, evidence of a lot of traffic, but they're mostly holed up in the caves.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a clue. So he mentioned to us when you were flying that there are signs of like paths that they have cut through the woods and through the fields where we can tell there's routes that they're taking. So maybe if we know those routes, we can better plan to surprise them or take them out.
There might be some leader there that has some sway that we might be able to take out. Or there's
Would
some
imagine to gather this many goblins. Yeah, there's got to be a new.
And if we take him out, that might dishearten everyone and they kind of scatter.
Yeah.
Right.
So research is probably a good idea.
Then if we're going to go that route, we should go deep into the caves, find the one guy that's making all of it happen, and assassinate him. And then try not to fight everybody along the way because it's a lot.
Yeah, because it's attrition, and since there's probably hundreds of them, the chance of us getting wiped out before hundreds and hundreds of enemies is probably pretty high.
Now, I will say, in an out-of-game sense, the very first playtest of Horde Wars was 5-player characters against, I think it was 35 goblins. And they won, having never played the system before, and with level 1 characters. So I
think we can take out a lot of goblins.
Yeah, I do think 100 goblins plus their wolves are a real threat that could totally kill you. But I don't think 20 would be, actually, unless they got a lot of crits.
If we had really unfavorable rolls, yeah, but 20 goblins we could easily take, I think.
Yeah. And your characters would know, at least roughly, the threat level of a normal goblin.
That's why I was like, hey, goblins are super easy. Let's go take care of these goblins. Yeah.
Let's gather information about alternative entrances into the cave that don't go straight through all of the pathing goblins that are coming through.
So how are you guys going to be gathering information on this situation?
Well, Tim is a priest, so he shouldn't. Yeah, Tim should run over.
What do you know about those particular famous caves?
Right. And that's what I'm going to try to see if I could come up with any legends or stories about the cave.
Oh, sure. Would you like to roll a faith or a history and law? They will get you slightly different results if you succeed.
We'll do history and law.
Sure.
That's going to be a 12.
All right. So with that, I will read you the following. The caverns of Abaddon lurk under limestone hills, 24 miles southwest of Grimstead, where the ancient city of Abaddon once stood. The entire city was destroyed by a falling star and violent earthquakes in the days of the old empire. You would know that it is commonly believed that the creator wiped out Abaddon for both its debauchery and its worship of the Dark One.
All right.
That the reason that those caves are even there is basically erosion on the site of a destroyed city from over 1,000 years ago.
So, God decided to smite them, and now it's become a den of stinking evil.
Yes. Or you could think of it this way, as you're a priest. Perhaps the stinking evil never went away and just got buried, and now there's a hole.
Right.
This makes me, if there was an earthquake and there was erosion below a city, makes me think that there could be more than one way in. If we search around, scout the area, we might find another crack to slip through.
Oh, for sure. It's limestone hills that has had erosion for 1,000 years or more, for sure. There's definitely other ways in. The question is, are they big enough for you personally? And do they lead somewhere useful to you? But there would definitely be other holes in general.
Well, if we find other beaten paths in besides the one that's going right in the front door, going into some of these other cracks in the walls, so to speak, they might be worth investigating. Also, my character Durkan is going to go over to the chapel and see if his guess has any weight as far as an underground egress from the tomb, even though it's not a very deep tomb.
So are you asking about the crypts under the chapel?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to Father Timothy and you ask him what?
I'll come with Durkan.
Okay.
Yeah, Father Timothy, considering the village here is a bit under siege, I was wondering, one, how much you know about the surrounding region, what you could tell us about it, and two, would there happen to be any tunnels leading out of the crypts?
He says, well, as far as tunnels go, no. We felt that would be a risk for the closest thing we have to a tunnel like that is the village well, and that's vertical, of course. But there are, I mean, the crypts are a little more extensive than you might think at first glance. And he basically leads you down there and shows you that they aren't just under the chapel itself, which would be normal, but also they extend outward up to 30 combat spaces in either direction, or up to 60 yards in either direction.
Okay.
Like they're more extensive than you might think, but they're well within the walls.
Okay.
And as far as your question about the region, yeah, he would give you a brief rundown, and he'll mention a few places that you haven't heard of, and I'll just go through them real quickly. So outside of the town, he would be talking about the Bleak Hollow Moor to the north. He would be talking about Fireheart Keep to the south. The Haunted Manor, which you may or may not heard of, also known as the Redstone Manor. It is off in the Witchwood to the west. He would talk about Ironwood Lake, about a ruined keep, the Standing Stones of Mercia, the Silver Flagon, and the Sunken Tower, as well as the Caverns of Abaddon. Any of those striking a chord that you want to ask about further?
Well, having played that one Cabin Con a lot, I know that there's a vampire hideout out there, and the ones that are red sound, I can't remember the names of them, but if it says red in it, that says vampire.
Redstone Manor,
perhaps.
Yep.
And then there's a witch's den out there too.
There is, although he doesn't know where that is. If he did, he'd be busy trying to burn them at the stake.
Right. So we understand about the past of the caves of Abaddon.
Yep.
And,
which, by the way, Abaddon just means doom.
Okay.
In real life. Like
a bad one. Abaddon.
Yeah.
Anyway. So it's smoking now.
Yeah.
Could the old one that they were worshiping, that they were punished for, have been buried and has now been eroded out? Maybe the goblins have dug it out some, and now some of that ancient evil is being released, and that's what that smoke is. And
Father Timothy thinks about this and says, it is possible that some of the fiends being worshipped by those evil people were trapped when the city was destroyed.
because it seems like something in the caves are drawing in goblins and other beings to amass whatever army they've got going on down there. So any insight that we can get from you, if you can provide any, would be nice. It would be very helpful.
The only thing I can tell you is something that is true of all fiends. I have never fought one myself, but I have read about them. One, they like to, well, two things. One, they like to work through intermediaries. They very rarely want to let people know that they're the ones in charge. They'll tend to have a front man of sorts. Secondly, all fiends are immune to physical attack unless you have a silver or a blessed blade.
Okay. Well, perhaps before we leave, we could bring our weapons here for you to bless them. Can you do that?
He says,
How does that work?
He says, I don't know the rituals. Now, it's possible you guys have actually found one of them, but it's an actual weapon property on artifact weapons.
Oh. I think you're right. Wasn't that polearm blessed or something? No?
Yeah, but isn't it the one Randy has?
No,
It might be.
the pole arm I got was mercurial. It wasn't blessed, I don't believe.
Yeah, the mercurial gives you an extra attack, right?
It does.
Correct.
I've got a silver
It
weapon
is
that
silver,
does
though,
fire
too,
damage.
Yeah. So you got a couple silver ones.
Yeah, I have silver weapons.
And if you ask for clarification, he does not mean that all damage types they're immune to. He means blunt, piercing, slashing.
Okay.
But they're
Right,
immune to
right.
it in general, not just from attacks. Even falling off a cliff won't hurt them at all.
Unless they fell off a cliff onto a pile of silver.
You got it.
Sharp silver things. Yeah. So, okay. So a blessed weapon isn't just something you put on an altar and say, hey, bless this thing. Okay.
Right. Now, the other thing to know that he would be able to show you, as he has a old kind of demonomicon, if you will, a catalog. He can tell you that the 3 varieties of fiend that he's aware of are shadow fiends, rot fiends, and hellfire fiends. And that of those, the hellfire fiends are by far the most dangerous. He shows you a wood carving stamp, a print that of a hellfire fiend standing amongst the corpses of thousands he slew in open battle.
Well, the name of it inspires that most powerful of that group, at least. Yeah. Okay. Well, we might be dealing with a fiend.
I ask the priest.
Mm-hmm.
I say, okay, I want your honest opinion on this weapon that I have, and I show him the silver war axe of fire. Am I going to be able to cut a fiend to pieces with this weapon if it's fire-based?
He says, it may struggle against the hellfire fiend, but the others it should be fine. And I do not believe that even the hellfire fiend is immune.
Right. Okay. So we don't really have an easy egress out of town necessarily.
Other than, of course, that 2 of you are shadow stalkers, which you can use during the day. There are plenty of shadows in the forest.
Sure.
You know.
What we could do, Thogbar and I could take off using Shadow Stalker and find a route through the patrols that the other 2 could take with little risk of being discovered, perhaps, if there's such a gap. Since they're not watching us, we could, or since we're being, as long as we hide properly, I'm thinking that we could probably discover some gap that we could exploit.
What do you think, Larry?
I am going to, I think it's a good idea, but I'm going to talk to a couple of farmers because I'm guessing they're also hunters.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask a couple of things. One, different game trails that lead out of town, because that might be easier to take a game trail and kind of sneak through that way. But also I want to know if there's any lakes or rivers near where this old city is at that might be large enough that we could feasibly, if it's possible, to divert water and basically drown them.
Let me check.
And try to flood the.
So there is a lake I mentioned. Let me see where it is. So the Ironwood Lake is northeast, so opposite direction.
Yeah, it was worth a shot.
As far as the game trails thing goes, though, the farmers will point you to the best hunter they know who you hate.
Mr. Personality.
Mr. Personality.
That's fine. I will go talk to Mr. Personality and point out we're trying to save the town and thus him.
Derek goes,
and his knowledge would be most useful in saving not only the town but in all likelihoods his backside as well.
He goes, all right, you make a fair point. As it is, they're not really pushing on the town; they're just preventing us from leaving. Personally, I think it's so that I think they're waiting till they have enough goblins to easily overrun us and enough other help. And then they're planning to eat us all and double their army.
Oh, that may be so, but if we can hopefully stop them before that, I'd prefer not to just stand here and wait and defend it then.
How would eating us double their army?
Derek looks at you and goes, are you unaware that goblins reproduce through eating?
Well, if it's something I should know, then no, I knew that. And I didn't ask.
Yeah, no, he's like, no. Like, he says, each person they eat will produce up to 4 more goblins.
Oh, okay. That's kind of like out of character. That's kind of like like Gremlins. Awesome.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm pretty sure they're just trapping us for a big meal once there's enough of them to overrun us easily.
Okay, so there's kind of a timer on this whole thing.
Yep.
All right. Well.
And he goes, I can easily bring you on the game trail, guys. Main thing is, though, and you, I would say if Tim's character overhears this, he would know why. TikTok would know why. But he says that he spends most of his time heading like to the southeast of town. And so those are the game trails he knows the best. Hey, Hungar. So he would be leaving you a bit of a circuitous route that's about 90 degrees off the direction you actually want to head to get away from the town first before cutting over.
Well, we were kind of thinking about doing something like that anyway.
And Tim, is TikTok listening in on this?
Yeah.
Okay. You would know that Derek is going over there at this point because there's a rumor, no one knows if it's true, but there's a rumor that he is the last living descendant of House Warwick, which are the rightful rulers of the area of Grimstead. Their old keep is to the southeast. Now, if he is one of their descendants, he's a bastard. You can tell just because of his name.
Well, we can tell by his personality.
By his attitude as well.
In terms of lineage, not merely an attitude.
Just because you're a bastard doesn't mean you have to act like one. Come on.
So, what do you guys do with that information? Or what do you do? Because he's totally willing to lead you. What I will remind you is that he helps you avoid random encounters just by being with you by about 17%.
Yeah, let's press him into service. How much does he charge?
He's not going to charge you for this. You are quite correct. He thinks the town in the long run is screwed.
Well,
if this isn't dealt with.
All right. Well, how about this? If we all live through this, seek us out, and we will. I will see about giving you something because services rendered do deserve payment of some kind, in my mind.
He says, "I'd appreciate that. I mean, if you ever get famous enough, put in a good word with the king for me."
Okay.
He is a king. He is a royal forester. So
Okay, my character now has. Oh, I get my healing potion back from Varbrak because now I have room for it.
wonderful.
With one spot to spare. But we have
I hand him his 4 crowns that someone took out of his pocket.
You drop these.
You dropped them.
dropped them. How?
Back when you were in the inn, they fell out of your pocket. I recovered them for you. Here they are.
I will choose to believe you. Anyway,
it was crowded in there, and everybody was running into.
They
each
happened
other.
to fall out around the time that scullery maid person gave me a hug unrequited.
I just start whistling and staring at the sky.
She needs to be invited to into a dirt nap, I think. All right, so I have one spot open. Actually, 2, because I used a shapeshift scroll. Now I have 2 open gear spots, whatever you call them.
Yeah, 2 open spots in your inventory. Sure.
Yeah, inventory spots. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like to me that Larry and Joe, your characters, are planning to lead the way, sneaking with Derek in more or less a triangle to try to shield the others from being noticed.
Yeah.
From being stupid. Yes.
And so the other 2 would be kind of inside the triangle with the rest of you running interference.
We are going to mitigate their lack of stealth.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Stealth is a skill I have. I just don't have the Shadow Stalker. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, then you're okay.
Likewise.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, yeah, because you're a thiefy guy, so we're all stealthy. Shadow Stalker is just next level.
Right.
So
honey, my character is a stalker. Her former last name was Stalker, which she retained as a middle name, so that she could be known as Dr. Stalker or Miss Stalker at some point.
Shadow Stalker.
She wants to be a vet, so a vet named Dr. Stalker would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll a group stealth check, bearing in mind that you have a +2 circumstance bonus from Derek traveling with you.
And I get to double my stealth. +2.
9.
+2?
He gets +2. And you should be able to double your stalking bonus too, Larry.
Yeah.
For the same reason. Yeah.
So I had a 14.
Perfect.
I have an 8.
So 4, 6, 9.
I have a Nightwood cloak. When I'm in areas of deep darkness like shadows, I'm invisible.
Yes, you are. I
I'm
assume
going
you're
to try to
wearing that
use
cloak.
that to my advantage as we go through the shadows. I'm going to try to stick with the shadows. I explained this to Durkon.
Yeah. The really creepy part is he's invisible to creatures with dark vision.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So he's in the super dark.
That might be useful in the caves.
Yeah.
So as
Very
you head forward, Derek rolled a nat 12. So yeah, he has like an 18. So you guys are being led very effectively, as it turns out, away from town.
So we need to make sure we reward him should we all survive, or at least one of us, so that we can take little body parts of the other ones to the priest to revive. Actually, the bodies have to be pretty much intact, right?
They do, unless you are a high-level priest.
Okay.
So that ability
Also,
actually improves. Just in basic, you don't have that notation because it's not relevant to you. But in advanced, it's the same ability. Just there's a line under it that goes, when you hit tier 2 or above, it does this also.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Also, I need to not die because I can't be revived again until I level.
Yeah. So don't do that.
I got a couple things to do for bookkeeping before we start combat. What was a quarter cost of the scrolls, and what was a quarter cost of the donkeys?
I paid for the
scroll-
donkeys.
So the donkeys Larry covered. The scrolls would have been 12.5 crowns, or
Yeah.
12 crowns, 5 marks.
Okay, thank you.
Now, you guys succeeded. You've gotten away from town. You are currently actively avoiding random encounters and successfully avoiding the goblin patrols, despite them having wolves who are very, very good at finding people such as yourselves. So, as you're taking this long route around, do you attempt to rest outside of the area of the limestone hills around the caves, or do you push it for an extra 4 hours to get there that night?
Although I'm not fond of trying to do something at night, I think we need to rest. Otherwise, we're going to probably suffer some hindrance at some point.
What
Get
is the
exhausted.
What is the terminology? Affliction. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
suffer an affliction if we push it, right?
If you fail your fitness check, yes.
That means no critical hits.
Yes, because we're die reduced. Yeah.
All right. So, if that's the case, Derek would recommend that you basically rest in a natural cave that he points out. The downside is the natural cave is fairly small, and you'll be kind of squeezed together. The upside is that, according to him, the bear who used to live here died recently.
Oh, so there's probably still bear smell on it, and predators will probably avoid it
Yep.
in the surrounding area. Yeah, that's a good idea.
How big is this cave?
Well, it's big enough for a bear, which means it's a snug fit for 5 of you.
Okay, so I mean it's
But
easily
bearable.
Yeah.
we don't have to go searching to see if this bear is actually still alive and Derek.
No. Derek is telling you he killed it.
Okay,
So
I'm still going to look in the cave just to make sure because
Yeah, mate. That's fair.
Frogbar is a dwarf, right?
no, I am an
No.
orc.
You're an orc.
Yes,
Oh, so 3 orcs. I thought so because the other 2 have orc there, and you didn't. So I thought maybe you weren't. So, and I'm an elf. My character's an elf, so he doesn't take up, as much space as your the 3 non-persons that I have around me.
They're your favorite people.
My favorite non-people. I like you guys way better than other orcs.
So,
No comparison.
Larry, go ahead and roll a d4. On a 1 or 2, there's no problem. On a 3, there are signs that something else has been here recently. And on a 4, the mate exists and is here. Excellent.
One.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Cool. So you guys are able to bed down there, rest. Your check, as previously mentioned, was successful. The next day, go ahead and roll a group stealth check.
I put on my silver signet ring.
Mm-hmm. In your right or left hand?
My punching hand, which
Didn't
would be
answer
my right.
question, but sure. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
We're still using Shadow Stalker, correct?
Yes.
So
I got 8.
10.
I rolled a 1 for a total of a 5.
Okay. Joe?
My total is only 7.
And you two are accounting for the +2 from Derek, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I rolled a 1
Okay.
as well.
All right. So it sounds like you are carried by Varbrak and Thogbar.
Okay.
Barely.
Because we needed half or more of the group to succeed, right?
Yes. And
Okay.
Derek succeeded and those 2 succeeded. So
Good
that-
team effort. Good team effort.
Good hustle, guys. Good hustle.
Every now and then we have to stop and slap him in the head and say, quiet.
Stop. Yeah, you had to stop them from stomping on tree branches, eating berries that are tasty but make you shit a bunch. Anything that'll give away your position. Like, no.
If you want something to drink, I've got water. Plenty of it.
Yes. Now, this is the second day of travel. So if you guys want to avoid any exhaustion-related issues, remember that you're going to want to drink a day's worth of water as well as eat some food. You can go a number of days without food, without any risk of penalty, equal to your fitness score. Water, that is not true of. You cannot go without water without risk of penalty.
I have my water pitcher, so I'm just giving anybody water.
Yeah, so that's no problem. Food.
Perfect.
Food.
If they have a water skin, I'll fill up the water skin. If not, then just take a drink.
I'll top off my water with his pitcher.
Perfect. And then food-wise, do you each have enough food?
I'm eating off my cheese
I
wheel.
eat my rations.
Yep, I'll eat off my rations and I'll use his pitcher for the water. So
Cool.
Yeah, I'm eating my rations.
Perfect. Yeah. No, that pitcher is really, really good. I think the players who got it the first time just wildly underestimated how good it was. The group who got it the second time in playtesting turned it into a money-making scheme. They didn't even bring it with them adventuring. They just basically made a pretend brewery.
Yeah.
You said something, Thogbar, about
Once I'm in town,
flooding the cave. You have an endless pitcher.
Yeah, but it's only a barrel a day.
Yeah, it'd be a very slow burn on that.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot. It's something.
Give me a couple of years. Give me a couple of years, and I think we can dump enough barrels.
The surrounding area probably absorbed that little bit in comparison to its volume.
here.
Now, if you give me a few days, I might be able to come up with enough alcohol. Maybe goblins like to drink.
Yeah. And you could potentially, if you flipped it on its side and attended it carefully, you might be able to make the world's first beer caves made of slowly flowing beer.
I mean, drowning in beer is probably in my top 5 ways to die.
So
yeah, it might not be the goblins. TikTok would probably drink it all before you even got down there.
Like, why isn't any coming out? I drank it. So you get down. So you see when you get to the Limestone Hills, you told me you're looking for another entrance. Now there is a DC for that, and I assume you're looking as a group. Given the situation, I assume you're not planning to split up. Is that correct?
Correct.
Oh, you're correct.
Okay, then go ahead and do that as a group check.
And would that be an investigate?
You could use investigate. You could use intuition. I think engineering is also believable, or survival if you're looking, for example, for animal tracks leading out from one of the holes.
Survival it is.
I got an 11.
Okay, that's one success from Brian.
Yeah.
2.
Are you saying you got the second success, Tim?
No, I rolled a 2.
Yeah, my character has a 5 altogether.
We failed. I rolled a 3.
Apparently, you guys were unable to find another entrance. You found some holes in the ground, but they didn't lead anywhere. You're confident there are some in these hills. Somewhere. But if you've ever seen video of like Cerro Gordo out in California, there are a ton of mine entrances all over those hills. And the dude who owns the property and has lived there for like 2 or 3 years at this point is still finding mine entrances.
Oh, wow. So technically, I guess we could leave and come back the next day and search again.
Yeah. You could spend another 8 hours searching if you want.
We're going to have to start foraging for food.
And that's going to be a little tougher to do while trying to remain stealthy at 2.
So I can tell you this, if you do another 8 hours of searching, Derek succeeded. I have not rolled below a 9 for him, I think.
Wow. Well, let's try one more time, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do from there.
Yeah.
We gotta watch the food situation though.
How many? Oh, natural 12. That's cool. I got a 12 as well. Natural 12.
I got a 5.
16, so 14 altogether.
And Brian, what was yours?
I think I need to break off and do survival checks for foraging.
You don't have any food?
No, I ate my last one.
What's
I
your
got
Hold
you.
on. Hold on. How many
Yeah,
days did you
well,
say that the cheese wheel provided? I forgot.
I can pull that up.
Yeah.
Say you can have one of my rations too. I've still got enough. So.
Let me jump.
It's a pretty good amount, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the cheese wheel is. Then I jump to the cask, which converts it for me.
Wheel of Cheese Fortune.
Dude, that's 2 weeks worth of food for a person.
Okay. So
Should be
I
enough,
can.
yeah.
Yeah. How
Okay,
about this? I will break what I have left in half and hand you half of it, and then we will settle up later.
Okay.
It's food. It's food. No problem.
In that case, I rolled my investigation to find another entrance. I rolled a 10.
Okay, that's a success. So you guys managed to pull it off, and you locate a shaft that appears to actually lead down to the caverns. There is a small amount of smoke actually rising from it, or ash, perhaps.
Oh,
Does it smell like sulfur?
Faintly.
We're in the right place, guys.
His return.
all right. So this is where we part ways, probably from
Your personality.
Mr. Personality, and
Well, Derek, you're willing to if you want to come in and help, you're free to. I'm not going to stop you.
right.
Might help elevate you.
He goes,
If not, it's you're on your own getting back.
I think if I'm this far outside of their lines, I'll try to slip over to Fireheart Keep and let them know what you're doing.
Sounds good.
They might want to keep an eye out for goblins as well.
He says, well, I'm not sure what their commander will decide, but there's a good chance he either hunkers down or that he sends a group of crusaders to interfere.
I'm guessing with the Draconians, he's not going to send too many crusaders.
Probably. Never know, though. So, as that's going on, this entrance, Brian, could you roll a d4 for how narrow it is? So, on a 1 or a 2, it is 1 combat space total in size. On a 3, it's two by 1. Okay. I was going to say on a 4, it's a 2 by 2. But yeah, so it's a narrow passage, but you can slip down it single file. And that would involve climbing with an athletics check, unless, of course, you've got enough rope and can secure it with either sailing or survival.
I have a climbing kit.
And would you like to use your rope for this and use either sailing or survival to like tie it off and make it secure?
I'll use survival.
Okay.
$12 total for the roll.
Okay. So you've got the rope secured at the top, and it looks like you can climb down safely. Would you like to do so?
Tug it and try to make sure the rope's not gonna come off, and I test it and I go down.
Yep.
I go, follow me to certain death.
Was this going to keep us from having to make a check to get down?
Correct.
Okay, good deal.
Correct. So Varbrak leads the way. Who is after him?
I'll go down.
Okay. based on that, would we like to just go around for who's going
Sounds
to your
good.
order?
It makes sense for Durkon to go next because if you can't see once we get down there, depending on how dark it is,
Yeah.
then
Cool. Well, in that case, Brian, why don't you roll a d20 for what's in that room?
All right, the mega dungeon.
Yes, sir.
14.
14. Perfect. For this scenario. So you slip down through the back, what you were hoping was the back door, right into a room with 2d6 goblins and wolves.
All right.
They were guarding this entrance, apparently.
Lights, camera, action.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll for turn order. In the event they win, you will be the only one in the room. In the event you win, all of you will have already gotten down the rope.
Oh, I have a question right quick.
Yes.
The enchanted war fan, does that glow on its own?
Not inherently, no.
Oh, I thought that's what does the enchanted part do? I forgot.
Enchanted, it ignores absorption and displacement. So, for example, the armor that the dragon was using to take the first hit every round.
Same question for my weapon. Does my fire weapon have any light that comes off of it?
I mean, obviously, once you draw it, because it's fire.
Okay.
Same for like a lightning weapon.
All right.
But sheathed, no.
Okay. Then my turn order is a 12.
Cool. I rolled an 8 for them. They have a +3. You won by that well won. So
Ooh.
proceed, sir.
I am going to say, I'm going to do this, like, shh, and then I'm going to get in a shadow.
Okay. So you're going to hide from the 6 goblins and their wolves?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what?
And then I'm going to notch an arrow in my silver short bow.
Okay.
I got to wait for the rest of the guys to come down before we fight.
Fair enough. Tim, what does TikTok do? You enter a room. There are 6 goblin warriors accompanied by 6 gray wolves.
Are they aware that we're here, or
Definitely.
okay? So then, yeah, we might as well just start trying to fight them. But I'll.
Oh, they're not surprised.
No. Neither group was surprised. They weren't surprised because you were making noise coming down. You weren't surprised because you won turn order after all.
Can I make an attack?
ambush.
Can I make an attack?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay.
And are you aiming at one of the goblins or at one of the wolves?
One of the goblins. I
Okay.
roll a 10 to hit the goblin for not 4 damage. It's an assassination weapon. So I get 9 damage on the wolf. I mean, I'm sorry, the goblin. Keep getting that mixed up.
Yep, 9 piercing on the goblin. All right, he's wounded, but still up. He's a goblin warrior.
Attack the same goblin, 12 to hit for 6 damage.
That will take out that warrior. Now, TikTok.
All right, I'm gonna pull up my short bow
Yep.
and take a couple shots at one of the goblins. So I got an 11 and a 7 to hit.
The 11 hits. Let me check the 7. 7 will miss the warrior.
7 misses. Okay, so that's gonna be 6 damage.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. It's silver, right? I didn't roll my double.
Yeah, need your extra die.
Yep. So that is going to be 13 damage. I apologize.
You take that one out.
All right.
Sweet. You don't see Varbrak, although you saw the arrows flying from where he presumably is. Would you like to where you've entered, the cave goes essentially is a semicircle shape and leads basically to your right and to your left. You could head out of this area if you wanted to. Are you going to stay next to the shaft they're dropping down in? You're going to move towards one of the exits, or
I'll move to the right a little bit if there's any cover to get. I'll do that. But yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Joe.
Okay, I have lightning bracers. I know they protect me from lightning, but do they have any?
I believe those glow, actually.
Okay.
I believe the lightning bracers glow in like either adjacent or close range. I can quick look. They're in the treasure.
Because otherwise, I'm going to be pretty much hamstrung. Let's
have a look. Mm-hmm. Lightning bracers. This says adjacent illumination.
Okay, so not very far. So I can walk and not trip over stuff.
Yep.
All right.
So the
I cannot really.
The space is next to you.
Right, and there's nothing in the spaces next to me. Correct.
When you hop down, there's some goblins in the spaces next to you.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that they were that close.
Yeah, you basically dropped on top of guys who, based on Brian's random roll, were guarding this specific shaft.
Okay, so
other possibilities were traps, an empty room, a whole bunch of other creatures.
All right, so this is first round. I'm going to take out my war fan and assassinate some crap. All right.
Sweet.
I get an extra attack. Now, these are not beasts, but there are some here. The wolves are considered beasts, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the goblins are considered monsters. Okay. I guess I could... anyway. Yeah, I think that's my best option for first round. First attack.
What do you attack?
A goblin, nearest goblin.
Okay.
I rolled a 10 plus 3 plus 2, so 12 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
I get that's a D8. D8. And it's first, yeah. So that's 13 damage.
Sweet. You take one down.
So I get an extra attack because it's mercurial.
Yep.
Rolled an 11.
That'll hit.
Plus 2, 13. For 12 damage.
Okay, that one's down. I believe you've got a maneuver to use as an assassin.
I do. I have slashing blade. Right, is that what it's called? Flashing blade. So I can get an extra attack on the next nearest creature.
Mm-hmm.
Are there goblins left?
Yes, there are.
Okay. I will do the same thing. 9.
That'll hit.
All right. For 12.
Nice. All right. As you go in, slashing away with your war fan, striking dramatic poses as is you're wont to do, practicing with it. You have reduced the count of goblins to 1 as Thogbar hops down.
So I'm going to use Flashing Blade and use my short bow to shoot at that last goblin.
Yep.
And does a 6 hit it?
It does not.
It is not. Dang. All right. I'm then going to grab my scimitar and swing at the closest wolf.
Okay.
And that is a crit.
Oh no.
So
Poor
that's an
Fluffy.
extra die of damage. And this is bronze, so I get an extra die there. So I'm rolling 3 d10s.
2 d10s? It's not an assassination weapon.
But because it's an extra die if I crit,
Oh, you critted. Yeah. You're right. 3 dice.
Heavy. Yeah, it's a heavy.
Yep.
and this is a bronze scimitar, so I do
Yep.
extra.
So 3 dice doubled.
So that is a 10, 21 on the dice.
So 42 damage. Yeah, you killed the wolf.
And then I'm swinging at the next wolf that's close by, and does I forgot. Oh well. No, that doesn't work. Does a 9 hit it?
It does.
So that is a whopping 5 damage.
The wolf yelps, but it's alive.
Yeah, I did crap damage on that one.
The goblin's turn is up. He shrieks in terror at the invading assassin and orcs. I suppose I'll roll for morale for him. Clearly, more than half of his companions have died. His morale doesn't go very well, as you'd expect. He runs screaming into the next cave. The wolves.
Shoot him before he gets there.
The wolves, I suppose. Yep. Seeing that one of their companions has been wounded and another killed, the wolves, for their morale, are pissed off and move to surround the 2 assassins. So, Larry, what is your character's defense?
8.
Okay. So I've got a hit on you for 3 slashing and a hit on you for 11 slashing.
Did you say 3 or 30?
3 and then 11.
So okay, so 14
It's still
total.
ouch.
So 7. So 7
Joe?
damage.
Yes.
What's your defense?
9.
Got a miss and a hit. The 1 hit is for 9 slashing.
9 slashing. That will reduce to 4.
Yeah. And then the wounded wolf will also attack, and Larry is the one who wounded him, right?
Yes.
He'll go after Larry. And that actually got cocked. Okay. And he missed. So that's it for them. Goblin ran screaming into the next cave, and the wolves are doubling down on the kill the intruders, they're hurting us plan. Barbrak is standing in the dark.
I'm going to chase the goblin and take 2 shots at the goblin running away.
Sure, roll a d20.
2.
Roll again.
13.
Oh no. So as you chase after the goblin, you trip and fall on your face. You ran right into a tripwire in a cave with basilisks. There are 1 or 2. Go ahead and roll a d4. On a 1 through 3, there will be 1 basilisk. On a 4, there's 2.
How did they react to the goblin running through, screaming?
We'll get to that.
3.
Okay. So as you go running into the room, you quickly notice 2 things. The first is that there is a goblin whose head is missing. The second is that you're suddenly prone. You do not see the basilisk initially, in part because he's a shadow basilisk, and in part because he is on the wall above the cave entrance waiting.
Ah. Sneaky, sneaky basilisk.
Thanks for
All right.
finding that basilisk for us.
So what else can I do this round?
So you can stand back up if you'd like. Your movement will then be over. And at that point, you will definitely see the basilisk. He hasn't had time to finish blending back in with the shadows, having just eaten a goblin's head.
Curl up and hide.
Goblin head. It's what's
I
for
get
breakfast.
into a shadow in an attempt to hide from the basilisk.
Sure. The basilisk, let's see here.
Are you invisible from these? With your cloak?
I don't think we have a light source.
Mm-mm. Well, only right next to my character.
He is going to drop down on you, and he has a total of a 9 to hit. What is your defense?
It's 8 because we never got my buckler that I wanted from Grimstead.
And in this case, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been 9 then. But yes, he succeeds in his athletics attempt to coil around you. So as you moved into the shadows, he wrapped you with his body to hold you in place.
So stepping into the shadows did not fool him, apparently.
And
Nope.
Tim.
All right, so I'm still back with the wolves. I will.
They're totally ignoring you and attacking the other two.
Right.
They mad.
I saw him run after the goblin, so I feel like Firebrack's got the goblin. I'm going to help them with the wolves.
Yep.
So I'm going to whip out my bronze rapier.
Yep.
And run up and pokey poke.
Absolutely.
I got a 5 and an 8 for my.
Okay. Assuming that you were flanking, then you would hit.
Okay. Yeah, I would be flanking.
So both would hit then.
Nice. And we've got 14 damage for the first hit.
Okay.
And 13 damage for the second hit.
Cool. You killed 2 of the 5 wolves.
Good job.
As you look back behind you, you see, because you can see in the dark, Varbrack appears to have a giant pitch black serpent wrapped around his body for some reason.
Well, shoot.
Joe, your turn. Your character sees nothing of the sort.
No, just the wolves around. He's going to take out his blood-forged scimitar. Any of these guys wounded?
No.
Okay.
Well, wait.
Yeah, one
of them is. The one Larry wounded. He did 5 damage to it.
Okay, so that one I'm going to attack first.
Cool.
I have a blood-forged scimitar, so I'll get an extra die of damage. Ooh, an 11 on the die, so it's 13 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Didn't quite crit, though. D10 and D10. $12 damage.
Sweet. That takes one out.
Okay, and I get one more attack on the one of the 2 remaining. Rolled a 12 altogether.
That'll hit.
I only get 1 die on this guy for 5 damage.
5 damage total. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still up. Larry.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a maneuver left. So, with the lightning glowing off of my forearms, it will be difficult to actually use Shadow Stalker, I imagine.
Indeed.
So, I guess I'll just stay where I'm at.
Okay.
Because I don't have any way of turning off the glowy part, right?
Not without taking them off.
Okay.
then like put him in your bag or something.
Yeah.
Larry.
Okay, so my first swing does a 8 hit.
It does.
Okay. So 10 damage,
Awesome.
and I critted on my second one. I rolled a natural 12
Okay.
and 17 damage.
Okay. So you'll drop both of the remaining ones. If your first one hit the wounded one, your second would finish the unwounded one. So you killed the last 2 of the wolves
And then I
as they yelp.
and then I try to move towards Barbrak as far as I can get.
You are astonished to see that Varbrak has some kind of giant shadowy serpent wrapped around him.
Guys, Barbrak needs help.
Oh, I can't see all the way over there.
Now, the serpent goes. It will be rolling its attacks twice, taking the lower of the 2 results, because it actually can't see him. It simply has him grappled.
It's biting itself.
It knows about where he is. Oh, wow. So I rolled a 7, a 12, and 2 11s.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think he missed, but he didn't crit.
Right.
Let's see, that's 2 dice. Okay.
Well, it might be 1 miss, depending on which one the 7 was with.
Well, that's the roll, though. That's an 11 total.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, a 10 total, sorry. But
Yeah, it hits everybody.
yeah. So that's 11, 12. So the first hit, Brian, is for 12. Where is that? Umbral damage.
Oh.
And it chooses to turn you to stone with its maneuver. So you are now a rock. A wounded statue. Your hit points have not reset. You are, however, an inanimate object at this time.
Oh.
TikTok. When it's your turn, you see that the snake appears to have slithered off your companion. And now you don't see your companion. You only really knew he was there because of the wrapping.
Right. But I still see the snake.
You probably see its tail as it slithers back up the wall,
I mean, can I?
sitting up above the door.
All right. Well, let's. I don't know if I want to go charging in there. I can try to use my bow again.
Mm-hmm.
Can I hit it from here?
Not at your angle. Like you're facing a cavern entrance, and it's above that entrance on the opposite side.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can use the. I guess I'll pull out the pike.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try to go through the door and.
Sure. Would you like to use the reach aspect?
Yes.
Good. Roll your attacks.
All right, so 8, 10, and 9. Since I get
All
3
right,
attacks.
let me hop over to its snap block again. 8 and 10 and 9. You should hit with all of those.
14 damage on the first.
And that's piercing. Okay.
Yep, piercing silver, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 damage on the second.
Yep, and you're rolling 2 dice because of the silver?
I am, correct.
Okay.
And 19 on the third.
Okay, you appear to have damaged it significantly, though you can tell that the pike is not as effective as it could be. Serpents being typically somewhat resistant to piercing.
Right.
But you have heard it, and you did not get close enough for it to try to grapple you.
Yay!
At least off turn.
Right. Please kill this thing before it kills me.
All right.
Joe.
So, let's see.
Just so you guys know, I'm the only one that can heal him with petrification right now. So,
Yeah.
you don't want me to go down.
I guess I will roll in there. Okay, I'm going to enter shadow stalking in this room. What kind of action do I need to take off the bracers?
And object interaction.
Okay,
You've got
cool.
2 of those for free per round.
Gotcha. So I will take them off, and then I will enter shadow stalk.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I can walk in the room without it immediately attacking.
Cool.
I will move as far as I can. Well, I can't do that because then I won't be able to see it. So I'll just move under the frickin' door and flare him for where I'm at. Because I have to be right next to it, right, adjacent to see. No, I can't see it.
If you take off your bracers, no, you wouldn't be able to see it. You know where it is, so you could still attack. Just you'd be doing what it did and roll twice, taking the lower result.
Okay. I guess I'll use my other free object interaction to put the freaking bracers back on because I got to be able to see it.
Yep, that makes sense.
So I'll walk into the doorway and point my flame straight up.
Sure. Roll your attack. Or attacks.
Attacks. Flare. 12 altogether, and second attack. No, that's probably gonna miss. 6 altogether.
Well, the first one hit.
Yeah. 2d6. For 8 damage.
Okay.
Fire.
That appeared to hurt it effectively. Anything else? Actually, why didn't you just... Okay. Oh, and I need you to roll your stealth from before when you moved up, just to see whether or not you succeeded. You're aiming for an 8.
Yes, I got 8 on the money.
Cool. So you'd have successfully slipped past and then quick put on the bracers and blasted.
Yeah.
Larry.
Okay, I'm going to use Shadow Stalker to walk in there, and then I'm going to take my longsword and...
Okay, roll your stealth check. You are aiming for an 8 or above.
I rolled a 9 on the dice, so...
Cool, you're good.
And then silver longsword. Does a 9 hit it?
It does. You're aiming for an 8 defense.
And this is silver, so I get an extra die. 14, so 16 damage.
Damage type?
It is piercing. I'm sorry, nope, slashing. Slashing,
Good.
I looked at the wrong one.
Okay, so that deals full damage to it. So you have it now severely wounded. I think you guys have dealt 46 damage to it.
Well, I still get another shot at it too, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
And I rolled a 10 on the dice, so I'm guessing that hits. So
It does.
Well,
You're aiming for an 8 defense.
so 2 more again. And because I took heavy hitter, I add 2 more. So 12 damage.
Okay, that puts it at 2 health. Anything further?
I wish I could do another attack, but nope, that's it.
All right. It will go after, I think, you and TikTok, having correctly identified you as the threats based on the amount of damage you did. I think it missed you. Does a 7 hit you?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No.
And then I have a 10 on TikTok.
That hits me.
Okay. So TikTok, that is that is 10 umbral. And it turns you to stone. Joe, it slithers along the ceiling, attempting to get away from you two. Its climb speed is an 8, so it is pretty fast. However, the height of the ceiling in this chamber is only 2 combat spaces. So you can reach it wherever it goes in the chamber as long as you move quick enough to get there.
Okay, so I just need to move so I can still see it in my glow, lightning glow. And then I will.
If you move diagonally, you'll be able to catch up with it. You probably just need to use Larry as your spotter.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm yelling where it's at.
Okay. So I'm going to flare. A 12 on the die. Look at that. It's a crit.
That's a crit.
And it's going to be death to old snaky, shadow snaky. Oh, crap damage too. A 1, so 4 dice.
Yeah.
A 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
It had 2 damage.
Well, you have 2 points left, though.
I mean, you killed it.
I killed it.
Overkill.
And as per the rules, because it is the source of that effect, Varbrak and TikTok turn back.
All right.
All right. I step out of the shadow so they can see me. And then I explained to them that I have umbral protection, so I didn't take as much damage that time.
Oh, well, that's really cool.
I'm going to suggest that we kind of set up a little perimeter right here and sit for a minute.
Oh, yes, you can recover.
For the orcs to commune with nature and become one with the hit points.
And cheat. You cheating cheaters.
Yep.
Quit being jealous, Joe.
I chased that goblin because I didn't want him to call 500 more back here.
Oh, yeah. No, if he had made it further.
I had the exact same thought. And I saw you run after him. That's why I was like, well, I guess if he saw you, he'd be like, it's fine. We'll just help out with the wolves.
Yeah, just so you know, there was a 15% chance there'd be more goblins in that chamber. And a 2.5% chance there would have been a goblin king with a bunch of goblins in that chamber.
Oh.
But
instead we got a shadow.
Instead, you got a shadow basilisk. So
I'm going to look around and see if is there other entrances into these 2 rooms,
Yes. So the first room that you had entered had 2 ways out of it. You guys went off to the right where the goblin ran into the next chamber, but then you still haven't explored the other way.
Is there anything else in this chamber? I mean, no
so
other entrances or exits?
This chamber is apparently an intersection. There are a total of 4 entrances to this chamber. You went through one of them.
So the basilisk room is a 4-way?
The basilisk room is a 4-way, which makes sense. Actually, I rolled it randomly, but it makes sense that this ambush creature would wait at an intersection.
So I suggest to the group that we move back to the first so that we don't have 4 ways to look, and let's just go look to that other direction first and see where we go.
Absolutely.
Hey, guys, I just want to interject that we had a, what is it called on Rumble? A Rumble rant.
Oh, sweet.
Of $2.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
By user Daramuth.
Thank you, Daramuth. And
Daramuth.
Hello, Green Apple. All right. I will be right back. I'm going to not refill. I'm going to replace my beer as it is now empty. And if you could, while you're resting, please roll for Joe. Joe, if you could roll for how alert you are, guarding them as they become one with the hit points.
What do I add to it? I mean, what am I rolling?
You'd be rolling a investigate, and you'd be listening.
Okay.
So I'll be right back for that result.
Okay. It's not going to go well for us.
That's not.
Are
Hey,
you saying you didn't roll well?
Huh?
Are you saying you didn't roll well?
Well, potentially didn't roll well. I only rolled a 4, so I'm guessing that's not going to be good enough. And I do not have, this character does not have any investigate ranks, so.
hey, I'm going to go off on a tangent if you guys don't mind for a second. If because we're on YouTube, if anybody notices, the scenery behind me is changed from my last spot because we were in Virginia on our last time, staying at the Comfort Suites beachfront. If you ever go to Virginia Beach, I highly recommend staying there. Very nice place, very nice people. They kind of actually helped take care of my wife after I had to make a visit somewhere unexpectedly.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. Good deal. Hey, I've got to go use the bathroom myself. I rolled a 4.
Oh no!
Just
Okay.
so you know, and
No, he says.
a 4 in the dice or a 4 total?
same.
Oh, I was hoping you had.
All of it.
I thought you had like a
four.
10. I thought you had like a 10 on investigate for somehow.
No, not me. All right.
I just love when the DM's reaction is, "Oh no."
Well, I should probably roll for what's in that next chamber because you guys weren't exactly quiet.
I stabbed that basilisk very quietly.
I was thinking of the goblins and the howling wolves and the yelping.
Instead,
Actually, why don't one of you roll it?
Very quiet.
Tim, why don't you roll a d20? Let's see
Roll a
what's in
D20.
that next chamber.
17.
Oh, good news. Sort of. Let's see how many.
It's only going to kill 2 of us rather than all of us.
Right.
There's
His
kind
eyes
of a-
got really big there for a second.
There's kind of a slurping noise, really, coming from that chamber.
A slurping noise?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good news. I'm not convinced that that's good news.
Basically, you heard a goblin walk into that chamber, and then there was a slurping noise, and then there was silence.
Another
Well,
basilisk.
whatever it is, it likes to eat goblins. Chances are it likes to eat orcs too.
I'm saying we don't go down that way.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So the just for your own information, the chart is traps, empty areas, beasts, monsters in alphabetical order, followed by boss monsters at the 20 slot. So the higher you roll is not the more dangerous because it's alphabetical, except 20 then it is.
Right. 20 is extraordinarily bad.
Yeah. Well, or good. I mean, because you get a boss monster fight,
True.
which could potentially solve the threat, or at a minimum, help mitigate it and get you the boss's treasure. Because if I hadn't mentioned it, the boss monsters in a mega dungeon yield double normal treasure.
Yes, but you don't have to kill them.
You do have to kill them, yeah. And loot their lair. So if you catch one outside its lair, then there's like a 2-step process. You got to go find the lair and get the. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I know.
I didn't go into all this adventuring for work.
Right. So I think after you've rested, what was Brian doing? He was gone by the time I got back.
He didn't really say. We were resting, and that's the last I heard from him.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to go grab some water since it's right here. So
Absolutely. Oh, what does this pop up? What do you want, computer?
Hello, computer.
It is telling me that Chrome is using my camera. What a useless.
Hey, I'm back.
All right, cool.
In
So
case you needed to know.
it just in case, if I wasn't clear on it. So, Brian, your character, or actually, Tim can tell you. I'll put my coffee mug away. Tim can tell you what you guys heard in the next chamber.
No,
Well-
I heard you on my headphones.
Okay, cool.
So you know about the slurping.
Yep.
I'm not so sure that we want to go that way.
Oh, I agree. That doesn't sound healthy for us at all. I think that would be, if we can hear slurping, then the creature's probably larger than we are, right?
Or like
Right.
7-Eleven.
Hey, July 11th is Free Slurpee Day.
7-Eleven day, yeah.
Hey, Brian, you know your camera's off, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, what do you guys do after you rest for a minute or so?
We don't go that way.
I'm gonna switch to. I'm gonna put the bronze signet ring on the punching hand, the right hand.
Okay,
Can you put one on each hand?
he could.
I'll put the silver one on the opposite one.
Absolutely.
I don't expect we're gonna find characters in here.
Yeah, not usually.
What I am doing is quickly drawing as much of the map as you have discovered. There, got it. I put it in the center of the paper because I'm not sure which way you'll go. For our purposes, we will say that south is towards the slurping room and north is towards the four-way intersection.
All right, so we mark the south as the big Slurpee.
Exactly, south for Slurpee.
Maybe we don't want to go there.
North of the intersection is the where we climbed out from, or climbed in.
No. North is the intersection. You are not in the intersection right now. You're in the room you climbed down into.
I'm confused. So
I know.
when we got in, there was only one way to go, and that was in.
There were
that
two
was,
ways.
Of course, there were two ways.
There were two ways, north and south.
Yep.
Okay.
And south is bad, so. Can we
Well,
go to-
Slurpee. I mean, maybe we'll throw a couple wolves in there and then see what happens.
Okay, I've adjusted my map.
Perfect. So we can begin you guys acting without Joe. That's totally fine. So Brian, what do? You've regained your hit points.
I've got 2 rings on.
You do.
I'm going to get back into the shadows and tell everybody I'm going to hide, and then I'm going to look ahead to the Slurpee room.
So what you mean is you're going to walk into the Slurpee room in the dark.
Nope, I'm not going to walk in. I'm just going to look into the entrance.
Okay.
I have an idea, Brian.
There's an opening, right? So I can look in.
Well, what did Larry say?
Brian, if you can stand near the opening and look down it, I'm actually going to pick up one of the wolves and throw it down that hallway. Or throw it into that chamber. And maybe you'll be able to see what attacks it. Because something ate the goblin, so, or at least we're guessing. So why not throw something down there and see if it'll eat it?
I'm going to take a hidden position in front of the entrance to the Slurpee room, and I'm going to peek inside as he tosses the animal or the wolf in there.
Absolutely. You don't see the source, because if you've ever been in a cave system, it's fairly rare from one cavern to the next to be able to see into it fully. But you do see some translucent but oily tentacles reach out, pull the wolf towards away from view. Then there's a slurping noise and silence.
I slowly, quietly creep backwards.
Each tentacle was about the size of a halfling in circumference.
Did I see it coming from the top of the room or the bottom?
No, just off to the right, out of view.
Okay. I explain all this to Thogbar when I get back. I whisper it to him.
Well, maybe he'll be happy that we fed it.
This is for Shoggoth.
I don't know. That does not sound good. The question is, do we want to try to go kill it, or do we just want to move on from it and maybe hope we can, if all else fails, maybe send a few other things that way?
So there is a detail that you guys as players would be aware of if we were playing in person. So I'm gonna mention it. When you encountered the goblins and defeated them, at that point, I have a D4 roll to determine how far away one of the boss monsters is. The reason is because one of the boss monsters is actually affiliated with the goblins in some way. And you have the opportunity, if you would like, to use skill checks to attempt to essentially backtrack the goblins to where they came from to try to find this creature.
Ooh.
Which in this case would be giving you the right direction to go to find that.
I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, so the goblins went the north, and we're looking south right now. So maybe we need to go north to find the goblins. That's
Well, we
where
might be able, but if we roll a skill check, we might be able to know which way they actually came from. After they get to that intersection, we might be able to tell which way from that intersection they went.
Exactly.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so are we all dead?
Your
No.
character died.
No, but if we go south, we probably all will die.
Roll a skill check, Joe.
Larry, what skill are you using?
I think it would be survival.
Okay.
And it would be a 9.
It would be a 9. Okay.
So what's the roll?
You guys are trying to figure out which way the goblins you killed originally came from. So you're using potentially survival or maybe engineering in terms of knowledge of cave layouts.
Okay, none of that helps me out.
Let's say I rolled a natural 12 on a survival check.
I got a 10
Really?
on survival.
Okay.
I got a 2.
Well, you don't know any more than Thogbar. However, TikTok is pretty convinced he knows which way the goblins came from. He's pretty sure it was through the 4-way intersection and then off to the right, which would be to the east.
Okay. All right. I think they went east from here, guys. Just like
Alrighty.
and stuff. And
Okay,
Yeah.
if we find the Goblin King, what's our plan?
Besides kill it.
Do we want to let Joe fireball him first? You know, haste people, stuff like that.
Well, I can't haste. I can haste one person.
Correct.
And let me look at it. Yeah.
If we can get up closer, we can almost approach it like we did with our plan for the dragon. everybody kind of use them by range weapon and shoot it first, and then try to get some attacks on it that way. Maybe we might get lucky and sneak up on it if we're quiet enough and stealthy enough, and then
Yeah.
run in and attack it.
Probably Joe's ranged attack with his bow would be doing more damage than his fireball to a one target. Is that right?
The question is how many
Depends
other goblins
on-
are going to be around it.
Yeah, it depends on hits. So it's going to be a monster. I get an extra die in first round of combat. And I can change it from piercing because it's probably wearing armor, so I can change it to something else. I can change it to what's it called? Toxic. So I could probably do that. I would get 3 attacks, and that would be pretty good.
Flashing Blade was your third attack, right?
Yeah. So it'd be 3d8 as opposed to let's see. Fireball is 4d8, but it's only 1 attack.
Yeah.
But don't forget, you can Flashing Blade and Fireball.
Correct.
Oh.
So I can get one arrow, and then one, and then the fireball. Yeah.
I
So
will
you
say
have
if
2
there's-
chances to crit.
Yes.
if there's multiple enemies in there, I have a scroll of fireball as well.
Ah.
You could hit them with 2 fireballs, just
Oh, sure.
Yeah, same round.
right.
Okay, so let's go that direction. Whatever
All right.
direction we're thinking
Everybody
we should go.
get in their stealth mode and stealth marching order.
Well, okay. A severe crimp in all of this is my character's inability to see anything.
And is glowing.
And so I've got my forearms glowing. I can put those away, and then someone can I can put my hand on someone's shoulder and follow them.
Realistically, do you guys have torches?
My character had a torch, but when we lost all of our gear, I never replaced it.
Or lanterns?
I do have 1 torch.
I do
I
have 1
have
torch as well.
flint and steel, but no light source.
Because
so
if you took a torch and lit it, that'd give him vision for an hour. I based that on because in real life, torches, properly made torches, tended to last 35, 45 minutes. So I figured an hour was close enough and easier to remember.
sure.
I do have a torch that I could.
But here's the
Give
question: it's kind of hard to be stealth with this torch because you're lighting.
Oh, I agree. I just meant if you want Joe to be able to usefully contribute ranged attacks, that gets him out to close range. Getting a torch.
Well, if TikTok has a fireball, if we get up close and there's a group of them, if he shoots his fireball first, then Joe can go then and use his fireball in his ranged attack.
Right.
Theoretically, if there are things for the fireball to ignite to remain lit, yeah.
Correct.
What if Joe on this first or surprise round hastes himself, lights his own torch, and attacks in the same round?
Actually, yeah, that wouldn't be. He would lose the arrow shot though, because he'd have used his maneuver to haste.
Yeah. But it would allow him to both light the room and attack at the same time.
Yeah.
The rest of us can see what we're hitting.
I don't
Yeah.
need the haste to actually light the room. It's an object interaction. So that's apart from attacks and apart from flashing blade. So I could do that once TikTok fireballs, let's say, and paints the target even briefly,
Mm-hmm.
then I can light my torch and then do my stuff. Potentially. It's going to depend on the situation when we get there.
Right.
Yeah. But you've got one. You need 2 hands for a bow, though. You got one on the torch, right? Holding it, and you got to shoot.
Sure.
So that's 2 actions. You got because throwing it's an action, right? Throwing the torch.
What do you mean throwing it?
Why would he throw a torch?
because he can't both shoot and hold the torch at the same time.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think really, if you were trying to make sure that Joe can contribute meaningfully, you, Brian, would walk into the room in the dark because your character has the shadow cloak.
Mhm.
Walk right next to the Goblin King and light a torch. The others have a couple torches. You could do that, and then you have painted the target for an object interaction.
All right, I got my strategy now.
Yeah. And plus, you've also painted not just him, but a close range radius around him.
Jam the
Yeah.
torch down his throat. Light him up.
Put it on the back of his belt loop right there.
Yeah. But that will take a successful stealth check against their defense because they could hear you, basically. They won't see you, but they could hear you as you're slipping in.
The other downside is that puts you right next to them if we fireball.
Well, within a space or two, yeah.
There is an ability on the cloak that allows me to cause them to have to roll disadvantage to hit me too.
Nope, that is explaining the cloak. That's why it's in italicized text. It is reminder text about attacking an opponent you can't see.
Yeah, so if I'm invisible and they can't see me but they can hear me, I'm still not visible.
Correct. And they would essentially be attacking you with disadvantage. Yep.
So I like our plan. I'll take the torch.
Mhm.
I've got my flint and steel.
When you light the
And-
torch and hit him with it or drop it on him, drop down to the ground. That way
Those
if they
are all
fireball-
options. We'll see what Brian does with it. But the important thing is the stealth check first.
Yeah.
Right.
The other thing is this room the next room might not be it.
That's
Right.
true.
Right. So let's just get there. Can one of you sighted people hand me a torch so that if I need it, I'll have it on hand?
How many torches we have?
Your party is
I
two.
get one.
I have
I'll
one.
take. I need one. Joe needs one. I need one.
All right. So whoever,
Yep, I had mine to Joe.
Okay,
Cool.
good deal.
I'll hand mine for a break.
So let's head down the hallway and see what we have to see.
Yep. So Brian, wait on that stealth check.
Stealth check is a 9.
All right. That is, let me load this, largely successful in the sense that you beat all the goblins except the Goblin King. So what happens is you slip into the chamber. You see, so you basically, you move from the room that you guys started in into the four-way intersection, which is north. You then turn right, which is east, and find a fairly big chamber. It's like 4 to 6 times the size of the room you dropped down in originally. There is a single pretty large column or pillar of stone ahead of you and slightly offset to your left when you enter the room. And this room, unlike the rooms you found so far, appears to actually be a dead end. There does not appear to be a way out of here other than the way you are entering from. Now, go ahead and roll 4 8-sided dice, please, Brian.
$20.
Okay. So there are 20 goblins in there with the Goblin King. In addition, the Goblin King, Glug the Boneless, is riding a large size category spider.
Was that TikTok?
Yes, it was.
TikTok doesn't like spidos.
Yeah. So he is riding a Bloodfire spider.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun at all.
They're not fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're fun. They're just they're different. So
Sir
Brian,
Brian
your
found out
character
that they're
would
not
need
fun.
to spend a couple of rounds to get near the king, and probably 3 of movement. Assuming the others move into the outer chamber, they'll be in range to help when you precipitate events. However, when you move within close range of the king, he will hear you, and at that point, you'll be rolling for initiative. So you will not be ambushing the king in the sense that he won't have a turn, but you may very well be his turn order roll. Especially since I rolled a 2, which even with his bonus is not good.
So that means Varbrak needs to roll an initiative roll, right?
Yes, it does.
I roll a 12 for turn order.
Sweet. So you move up, and he's starting to turn to look in your direction as you light the torch. At this point, your party may proceed, although I assume, Varbrak, after lighting the torch and dropping it, you'll want to attack in some form.
Yeah, I'm going to rush the blood spider.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hit it. No, I'm going to go for the Goblin King.
Okay.
How big is the spider?
It is the size of a horse. And unlike most goblins, Glug the Boneless is the size of a man, slightly larger, really, in rotundness.
Okay. Glug the Boneless, Silver War Axe of Fire.
Absolutely.
Silver Weapon. Does a 12 hit Glug the Boneless?
A 12 would hit Glug. Do you have a follow-up attack? And if so, what is that number?
The follow-up attack is a 5.
Okay. So,
And if I moved 6 to get to him at close range, I'm going to execute my maneuver to get another attack off.
okay, good. Because in your initial attack, you totally would hit him, but he is, as part of his turning and reacting to you, grabbing another goblin and putting him in front of your blow.
Okay. So this will be my Furious Charge attack?
Yeah, so go ahead and roll damage on that first attack. It does apply to an enemy, just not the enemy you aimed at.
Is that considered like an absorption attack ability, or?
It is a maneuver he can use called You First.
You first.
I need to point out that the Furious Charge attack was a 12 on the die.
Sure, wonderful. But roll damage on your first attack.
5 to the goblin.
5 to the goblin. Okay. He is still alive and wiggling. And then your 5 to hit was a miss, and then you have a crit with this one.
Yep, and this is a heavy weapon, so I roll an extra die of damage.
Yep.
So that's 23 damage on the crit times 2, 46.
46. Let me jump over to Glug's stat block.
Now, if I'm using the fire axe that's silvered, is that all fire damage to Glug?
That is all fire damage.
Okay.
So you have severely wounded Glug, but he is alive.
Glug.
That's what he's going to sound like when he goes down.
Now, TikTok is up.
All right. So, did you back off at all when you're after attacking him, or
He moved his movement to get there. That's how he got that extra attack off as well.
Okay, well, you know,
I'm
you
vulnerable
can still aim a
to attack
fireball,
now.
not hit him, of course.
yeah. I mean, by
Just
fireball,
go
by
do
fireball,
Just do it.
just do it. All right,
Just do it.
it's what we discussed. So
Yeah.
I'm fireball centered on Glug. See how many of the goblins I can get in it, as well as the spider.
Certainly. Go ahead and roll your attack.
6.
Well, you didn't hit me.
Cool. So go ahead and roll damage. You'll be dealing half to Glug, but you'll be dealing full to the goblins around him.
He says 48.
Yep.
48.
Yep, 12. And 20 damage total.
All right.
Sweet. So
that means I take half, right?
What was your question, Brian?
That means I'll take half of it.
It does. And it was 20 total, was it?
20 total, correct.
20 total. Okay. So you incinerate 8 of the 20 goblins. The Bloodfire Spider is, I believe, entirely unharmed. I have to quick hop over to its stat block and glance. Oh, no, it has protection, not immunity from fire. So you did 10 to it. It's there. That's okay. Cool. So Glug is badly hurt. The spider is hurt a little bit. And 8 of the other goblins are dead. And 1 is down to 1 hit point because of Brian's axe, I believe it was, blow. Joe, what do you do?
My first is going to be Flashing Blade bow attack on Glug.
Yep.
I'm going to convert to toxic damage.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully bypassing whatever his armor would protect him from.
Yep.
10 on the die, so that's 12 altogether.
That'll hit.
He is a monster, so I get an extra die. And it's the first combat round, so I get an extra die. So that's 3 die. 3d8. So 16 damage of 16 toxic damage on Glug from the arrow.
Okay. And then let me see here. And then what's your next? What's your action then?
Okay, so Fireball, as we discussed. Is there a way to cast it so Varbrak isn't in it, but Glug is?
Yeah, you could cast it so that Glug, the spider, and 3 goblins are in it.
Okay, that's what I will do. Because it would be another 10 or 20 damage on Varbrak, and I don't think he wants that.
Yep.
Oh. 6 altogether.
Okay, that will hit the normal goblins.
Let me get the damage.
He's running out of goblins, guys.
Right? We're doing at least that.
True.
And not good damage.
How much?
So 13.
13 fire.
13 fire.
Okay, well that will kill 3 of the goblins, and it will, deal 6 to Glug.
6
and
more.
To the spider. So you are piling on the pain.
Yeah, so Glug should be hating life right now.
Just a bit. Larry, it is your turn.
Come on, put the nail in this guy's coffin, dude.
I am going to use Flashing Blade, and I'm also going to use Curse Blade to make the damage toxic, and I'm going to shoot Glug. Does an 8 hit him?
It does not.
It does not. All right. A 12 will hit him, I'm hoping.
Yes, it will.
And that is D8. This is a silver weapon doing toxic. So that is 12 damage.
Okay, and what's the damage? It was toxic?
Yes.
All right. How would you like to describe your kill? That puts you at 90 damage on him even.
The arrow goes right down his throat.
Glug, glug, glug.
Takes out his spine. Okay.
I'm now shooting at the spider then. Does a 13
Yes.
hit the spider?
It does.
And this is also going to be toxic. Although this is not a monster though, is it?
No, it's a beast.
So
Oh, it's a beast?
silver
Spider?
is only 5 damage.
Okay. You tickle it. Is it their turn then, Larry?
Yeah, I think that ends my turn.
All right. So I'm going to roll for the goblins' morale. It is unsurprisingly not the best. The Bloodfire Spider is going to. Yeah, let's roll. Let's roll for its personality. So, Larry, you would be its target, so I'm going to have you roll on a D4. On a 1 or a 2, the Bloodfire Spider is just going to get out of here. On a 3, it is seeking vengeance for its dead master, and on a 4, it has a special way to torture you.
Well, I rolled a 3, so it is seeking vengeance.
Excellent.
Good.
It runs right at you.
I don't have to move to it.
What's that?
I don't have to move to it because we're like kind of right next to each other.
That's quite true. So it heads right next to you, and then hurl. And as it moves towards you, it might as well use its maneuver. It will hurl webbing at you. Go ahead and roll a reflexes check. Larry?
9.
You did not succeed. Your speed is now 0 for the next D4 rounds.
Stuck you to the ground.
Yeah, for 3 rounds. More stuck him to himself.
Oh,
As it moves next to him, it then...
I can move my arms though, correct?
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
As it moves next to him, it then... So that's a 10 to hit and a 13 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. It's going to be doing fire damage. That is 8 fire, followed by 9 fire.
Okay. So did it burn its own webbing?
No, its webbing is designed for this.
Oof, 17 total. Okay.
Yes, sir. So that went pretty good for you guys. The goblins, having had their morale roll fail, but not as thoroughly as you might like, are going to issue a barrage of attacks and then leave.
how many of them are left?
9 are left.
Okay.
So, 4 have bows. 1 rolled poorly. So, Brian, you're good on the archers. The others, the low to hit is an 11, which is 2 plus the 9 I rolled on TikTok.
That's gonna hit.
Okay. Oh, Larry, I forgot it was round 1. The spider should have done an extra 8 fire to you because of the 2, because of it's an ambusher.
Oh, it's a shame you forgot that.
I'm mentioning it now.
I'm down.
Okay. For TikTok, it only came up because the goblins have short bows and they also have this type of property. I was like, oh yeah. So TikTok, the 1 hit on you is for 8 piercing.
All right.
Joe, I have a 13 to hit you.
Oh, because it's a 13 it missed.
I mean, it's possible, but not probably with this character. That is 10 piercing damage.
Oh, I'm going to take 5.
And Larry, who is downed, would have taken another. Well, yeah, no, I'll still shoot you. Takes an arrow in the rump for another 9. So that's the goblins with bows, 4 of them. A single goblin sorcerer gets off a spell. Huh. Okay, then. He's aiming at Varbrak. Varbrak is invisible, so it went from a crit to a 13 to hit.
Wow.
And that is 7 cold damage. The other one misses entirely because it would have been a 7 to hit and it became a 3 to hit as he cast his cantrip at you. The last 4 goblins are armed with melee weapons, and as they want to get out of here and the rest of you are in the way, they will effectively be forced to charge you, which is what they do.
Bring it on.
Yes. Leading the way. 2 attacking Joe. I have a miss and a 13 to hit.
Okay.
2 attacking Tim with a miss and a 11 to hit.
Okay.
Tim, the hit on you is for 1 slashing.
Woo! So when you divide
You get
that,
slashing protection, 0.
yeah, 0.
Oh, that does zero it out?
Yeah. It's rounded
Oh.
down. And then Joe, the 1 hit on you is for 7 slashing.
So 3.
Mhm.
So it's 12. Okay.
So the goblins are trying to push right through you. They're all running towards the 3 of you. Barbrak just kind of hanging out. Brian, you have a straight line to charge at them if you'd like.
I am going to first attack the sorcerer in a straight line. That's one of the group, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does a 13 hit the sorcerer?
13 hit the sorcerer. Yes. Now, but he does have that sorcerer ability, so the first one will be turned into a miss via his mirage, unless you have the ability to ignore displacement.
First one then will miss. Second attack is a 5 to hit. Is he flanked? If he's flanked, I would get a 7 to hit.
He wouldn't be flanked against ranged anyway.
Well, I'm charging at him with.
Yeah. Then yes, he'd be flanked.
Okay, so then the new hit number would be 7.
Okay. That I believe will hit actually. Just have to scroll up on this page. One moment. Goblin Sorcerer. Yeah, that'll hit.
So that's 15 damage for that hit.
Badly wounded, still up.
And for my maneuver attack, does a 7 hit?
It does.
For 11 damage fire.
Nice. You take him down.
I decapitate him.
Die, Sorcerer. TikTok.
Alrighty. I am going to pull out my pike, try to clear out these goblins that are trying to run past us. That is an 11, a 4, and an 8 to hit. So 11, 4, and 8 to hit. I'm assuming the 4 misses.
Somebody froze up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did I freak you?
Yeah, looks like Mr. Blackwall is locked.
Ah,
I
okay.
thought he was just sitting there quietly.
I was just like, man, what did I say wrong? He's looking at me like I'm stupid.
Okay. Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Now,
Yes.
now we can start to hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. You all cut out for a moment there. So it was an 11 and an 8 to hit. You said
11, 4, and 8. Yes.
11, 4, and 8. So 11 and 8 do hit.
Okay. So we'll do 7 damage and 9 damage.
Okay.
Roll a 1 on one of my dice for both those rolls.
You cut down 2 of the goblins. Joe.
All right. I guess I'm going to have to haste because nobody else wanted to attack the spider. So I'm going to haste.
Mhm.
I'm going to pull out a lightning bolt scroll and point in a way to get as many enemies as possible, but definitely include the spider.
Yeah, absolutely. I assume you'll also move to line that up?
Yes.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Missed everybody.
What was the total to hit?
4.
Okay. And damage?
$23.
Okay. So you do 11 to the spider, and you kill 4 of the remaining goblins.
Oh. Well, that's pretty cool off of a crappy roll like that.
Half
All
damage is still strong for elemental damage.
Yeah. All right. So after that, I'm going to do some war fanning. This is a beast, you say, right?
Yes.
So is that all the goblins now?
2 remain. Still trying to.
Ah! 7 was my best out of those 2. 7 and a 4.
The spider is more dodgy than that.
Yeah, I figured.
Larry, bleed out timer.
2.
Okay.
Somebody help me with this dang spider.
The 2 remaining goblins flee out of the area.
Oh.
Hmm?
I'm hasting. I get one more.
One
Oh, I
more.
got the lightning bolt. Never mind.
Yep.
Never mind.
So when they flee, they head west into that intersection and then turn north.
I was hoping to stop them from running and getting reinforcements.
Yeah, well.
So nothing stops you from chasing them down, really.
Yes, except for the spider that's going to.
Except for the spider that's going to eat my wizard. Yeah.
And the bleeding out fellow orc.
Oh.
The spider, having wrapped in one of you, is going to then web Joe's character. You get a reflexes check. You're aiming for his head.
Didn't make it.
You are webbed for the next 4 rounds. It then moves up to bite you with just a miss, and then a 10 to hit.
10 hits, of course.
That's a nasty bite.
It does. 14 fire.
Okay. I'm at 0.
Okay. It then scoots away from you, looking at the other 2. And that's it for its turn. Brian.
I'm going to use my bronze signet ring, charge 6 spaces in a straight line towards the spider, and hit it 3 times with my fist.
Okay. Spiders doesn't protection from blunt, but you are aiming for a 10 defense.
I got 12 to hit for 8 damage, blunt.
Okay.
Second attack. That's a critical hit.
Sweet.
The damage is 16 doubled, so 32 blunt.
Cool. You kill it. I would assume fist up through its head.
Uppercut.
Yeah.
Or some
And
other orifice.
Yeah. Punch it
That's
right in the
awesome.
eye.
Yep. Guts are all like ichor and guts are all over your hand. You punched way deeper into the spider than you meant to. So, having done that, TikTok, any reviving you'd like to address?
Yes, I will. I will. So Joe is at 0. He's down, but not actually out. Right.
Yeah, he'd be rolling his bleed out timer in his next turn.
So yeah,
Larry's character is closer to death.
Right. So I will go over and touch Larry, heal him for 20 hit points,
Excellent.
and
What happened?
I don't know. Am I able to give a potion to Joe in the same
Are we
turn?
are we in turn order?
You are, and TikTok was after you.
Okay.
Am I able to give a potion to Joe in the same turn, or is that still an action?
You're not. That is an action.
Okay, so. And yeah, reviving Larry is all I can do at the moment.
Perfect. Joe, bleed out timer.
4 rounds.
Cool. Yeah, you're in great shape. Larry was actually down to his last round because of the arrow to the rump.
Yeah.
So he rolled a 2, so he wasn't instantly dead. But
I was close.
yeah.
Take me more to the rump.
It's very, very
And I'm still stuck in this spider web, correct?
You are. You got another 2 rounds of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to quick check the table for what the goblins ran to go do. Okay. I think the goblins picked the wrong route. Ryan,
They're
it's
not
your
smart.
turn.
Good.
I'm
You
going
hear
to
rattling
feed Joe a potion to Joe,
Mhm.
to Durkon.
Okay.
I just take the one I've got on me and feed it to him.
Okay, so he's back up to 10.
Yes. And Tim?
And then I'm going to move towards the Goblin King to see what he had.
Absolutely. Tim, seeing that the others are up, would you like to, at this point, stop and roll for treasure for the session, guys? Because you actually beat one of the boss monsters of this mega dungeon.
Oh, this is a mega. That makes
This is
sense.
a mega dungeon. You beat one of the 6 boss monsters.
Oh, wow. That is mega.
All right. So what are you having me roll here?
So I'm asking if you'd like to drop from combat instead of chasing the goblins. You can chase them. As I mentioned, you hear like the noise of rattlesnakes coming from the direction that they ran.
I'm not looking for any more trouble, especially since I'm pretty much out of heals at this point now, too. And
yeah, because if so, and Joe is obviously still webbed, and Larry is still webbed, that simply leaves Varbrak if he would like to be both behind them and also running into danger. Otherwise,
No.
you guys can. No, okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take the torch that I have laying on the ground and I'm gonna burn the webs off of those guys so that they're free from the webs.
Okay, that makes
Does
sense.
that work?
It would against normal webs, against from the bloodfire spiders not so much, but
it works. Take 10 damage.
Poke at it. You know,
Fire-resistant webbing.
Fire-resistant webbing. That being said, that went really well. You guys just fought 21 goblins simultaneously, including a bloodfire spider. And in terms of proof of our previous discussion, yes, you can definitely take 20 goblins. And a little bit more.
And a
The
little
spider's a problem now.
The spider was a problem.
Well, we had some trashy
Goblin
rolls,
King
too.
wasn't a big deal, but the spider ended up being a bigger deal than the Goblin King.
Which is hilarious. I mean, the Goblin King actually has more damage output and stuff. He just didn't live long enough because you've got 2 assassins and all of you went before him.
Right.
Right.
had he been able to act, I think he'd have been swinging for like 3 dice at you guys.
Ouch.
Yeah. And been belching on whoever was next to him, which in this case would have been Varbrak.
Oh, what did he belch?
When he belches, you have a save or you gain a level of affliction from disease.
Oh, from his breath.
Yes. Yes, it's that
His
rough.
halitosis.
Okay, let's roll this treasure out.
Yes, so this was a low difficulty encounter, but because it's Mega Dungeon boss, you guys are rolling twice on the low difficulty table. So I will pull up the treasure section. Get this closed, and this closed, and this closed, and hopefully make the computer run a little faster. There we go. All right. So 2 D20 rolls each on the low difficulty treasure table. Barbara.
I rolled an 18 and a 4.
So you found a general artifact and a treasure chest. That's a pretty good outcome, actually. TikTok.
A 9 and a 19.
Ooh.
9, you got 2 decorations. 19, you found an artifact weapon. Also pretty decent. Joe.
13 and a 14.
Okay. Apparently, your guy is a collector, as you have rolled 3 rugs or wall hangings.
Well, at least they'll be worth some money.
That's true. And then Thogbar.
I rolled a 12 and a 15.
Okay, so you found 2 pieces of jewelry and 1 magic scroll or rod. So we'll be going down through those. So we had 1 treasure chest. Brian, go ahead and roll your d20.
11.
That treasure chest has 100 crowns, 350 marks. Continuing down, we had 2 decorations rolled, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 3 d20 rolls each. First for material, second for type, third for what's it decorated with.
All right, so 20, 14, and 11 for the first one.
So 20. So this is gold worth 250 crowns. And then your second was so it's a gold platter worth 250 crowns. And what was your last number?
11.
That is engraved with mountains or with monks praying at a mountain shrine. So you got a gold platter engraved with monks praying at a mountain shrine, and it's worth 250 crowns.
Nice. All right. And the next one is going to be 15, 13, and 7.
That is a mage stone pitcher decorated with a 5-headed dragon rampant.
Oh, cool. What is mage stone?
That is stone that basically has some inherent magic in it and is used in crafting a lot of the magic items in the Old Empire.
And how much is that one worth?
That was tables. That was mage stone worth 40 crowns base.
All right.
However, I suspect you could probably sell it to a Dracaran for more because you basically have a picture of the Dragon Queen on it.
Right.
Now, no games and music were rolled. Jewelry. We had 2 pieces of jewelry rolled? Or was it 1?
I had 1.
1. Okay, so 3d20 rolls.
Well, I had 2 jewelry.
2 jewelry. So 3d20 rolls for each piece of jewelry.
Okay. First is 8, 8, and 2.
All right, so these are dragon glass earrings decorated with amethysts. It's actually pretty cool. They are worth 30 crowns.
$19, $12, and $8.
So this is gold worth 250 crowns. That's awesome. This is a big gold nose ring decorated with a violet amethyst. Probably Glug was wearing it in his nose. That's great. Rugs and wall hangings. The collector. 4d20 rolls, sir.
Oh, 4 D20 rolls altogether?
4d20 rolls
Is that for each one?
for each one.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. All right. So the first set of 4.
Mhm.
5.
That is a painting worth 30 crowns.
Okay. 5, 12. It's 5, 12, 10, 4.
Of a slim maiden blessing a birth or marriage. So it would appear that this lady is just like really happy with and blessing one of her siblings, you'd guess, who's having their first child.
Okay.
Neat. Family artwork.
Yeah. The second one is a 10, 9, 11, 13.
Okay, it's a painting worth 75 crowns. It is of an armored mercenary impaling a vampire with a silver stake.
Okay. The third one is 15, 1, 16, 13.
So it's a gold thread rug worth 150 crowns. And then what were your other numbers? The 3?
1, 16, and 13. And you said how much was it?
150 crowns. And it's of a Brigmari priest also impaling a vampire with a silver stake. We have a theme. Apparently, vampires may need to appear in this dungeon.
Yeah. All right.
That's pretty decent, though. Like in terms of value, I think the art object guys pulled ahead of the treasure chest on this occasion.
Yeah, I
Magic,
got 255.
yeah, magic scrolls and rods. Somebody had one of those?
Yep,
Yeah.
got one magic scroll.
All right, so Larry, that is a D12 and a D4.
12 is a 4 and a 4.
4 to 4. Okay. It is a magic scroll of the spell Rust. That spell can be found in Horde Wars Basic in the features section.
In the features section?
Yep.
When you do acid damage to an opponent, you can cause his belonging to perish.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, you destroy all but a D4 pieces of his equipment. The trigger is that you have to do acid damage in the first place, but Rust itself is a maneuver. So you can stack it on top of like a normal scroll or other ability that would do acid damage. And if not, it's still worth 50 crowns. So it's pretty decent either way.
Very
To use that
situational.
though, I'd have to have a skill as magic, correct?
You would. but you've got a couple people in your party, 3 maybe. I believe Tim and Joe can use them, and potentially Randy. I don't remember if he picked it up or not.
I don't remember either.
Which one of you can do acid damage?
I already have acid. I have acid spray scroll. I have another scroll.
So you would want that, Joe, because it would let you, if you successfully spray someone, use a maneuver with it to destroy all but a D4 pieces of their equipment. So against like a Crusader or something, you could neuter them as a threat.
Sure, and it doesn't really impact our treasure because we don't get their stuff anyway.
Yep.
Or a Dark Crusader.
So
Yeah. In which case you wouldn't want their stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hand that scroll to Joe.
Okay. And that's rust.
Yes. And artifact weapons, we had one of those.
Yep.
So that's 3d20 rolls.
All right, so I got a 20, a 7, and a 2.
27 and 2. Okay. I will give you the following option. You want it in order or you want it in reverse order?
Oh, just do it
I
in
would
order,
take-
I guess. What did you say, Joe?
I was going to say do it reverse.
Okay, I'll do it reverse. Sure.
Okay. So it is a bronze poleaxe, and then please roll 2d20s.
$12 and 7.
It is a bronze poleaxe that is enchanted and has elemental damage lightning, as you have successfully gotten a relic.
That's why I wanted you. I thought that having the 20 as the last roll was key.
It is.
That's
Okay.
pretty cool. And you got pole arms, right?
So, enchanted bronze poleaxe. Yes, I do.
Of lightning.
Of lightning.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice against beasts. That'll replace that rapier I have.
And that will that bypasses a lot of creatures. The enchanted, but bypasses a lot of creatures' ability to block damage.
Oh yeah, that's like a really good weapon to, for example, fight a T-Rex.
Yeah. Would have been great against, a spider.
For example, yeah, what if? General artifacts, we had one of those, and that's a D6 and a D20 roll.
Okay. 17 on the D20 and 3 on the D6.
Interesting. Let me scroll down to that. I'm in books, clothing. So you rolled for artifact clothing, and what you rolled is Stone Death leathers. This is bulky item clothing artifact. This means if you choose to wear it instead of your normal clothing, it's a full outfit, and so it won't weigh you down any more than normal clothing does. But it has 2 effects. The first is it gives the wearer immunity from petrification entirely.
That would have come in handy earlier.
Indeed, I think they probably killed a basilisk to get these, to make these. But the second effect, and this is important as well, whenever is called Stone Death, and whenever you reduce another creature to 0 hit points, his body becomes petrified. A petrified creature's body turns to stone, and his mind ceases functioning. If you are wearing Stone Death leathers and you kill someone, leave statues of your victims all over the place.
Does that make them harder to, let's say, resurrect if that somebody was having a mind to do so?
Yeah, because they're a statue currently. In order to get them out of that, you'd have to remove the petrification or kill the person who did it. So yeah, it does make them harder to resurrect.
Alrighty then.
Interesting. Still think the shadow-bound cloak is the way to go, though.
Well, nothing other than encumbrance stops you from wearing both an outfit and a cloak.
Okay, I thought the shadow one counted as your clothing.
It does take up I believe, a bulky item slot, and if you wear it, I mean, you can wear it instead of wearing normal clothing, but that does mean that you're basically a streaker. Because you are only wearing a cloak.
Yeah, so it's still just a cloak.
Yeah,
it's not your whole clothing.
Arback the streak.
Farback's like, hold on, I want me to cover myself and walk into the dark.
So it's not like this game has back slot and chest slot and clothing slot. No. It doesn't have that. So you can right. So if we found
relying on the game master to prevent unrealistic combinations, and we tell them not to allow them. So, for example, no, you can't wear 2 different pairs of gauntlets.
Right.
You only have 2 hands. That's not an option.
So Farbrack, if he found a magic scarf that was, like the doctor's giantly long scarf, he could wear that too, as long as he had the encumbrance for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, because leaving statues of enemies means that other enemies are going to find these victims more easily.
You can kind of leave a trail.
You know what I mean? And if we're trying to be sneaky, we're going to leave breadcrumbs where we're going.
On the other hand, statues don't stink.
Yeah.
It's up to Farbrack. If he doesn't want it, then one of the other party members should say something and say that whether they want it, or leave it up to Randy. He might want it. I'm thinking
Randy, actually, because Randy, we never want him to get petrified, because he's got the spell that takes away other people's petrification.
Right.
Let's say we're fighting a basilisk.
Randy and Tim are the ways to beat petrification. It would be smart if one of them wore it.
Yeah, it would. So Tim, you have that's right. They're both priests, and the priest class has a remove petrification power. Okay, that's cool.
Tim did win the weapon today, so I think I should give it to Randy.
That sounds good to me.
Because, like I said, Randy is the guy. If we want to if we want to beat the basilisk, Randy's character would be able to really,
except for Randy's usually down in the first round. So I mean,
or he puts the enemies to sleep. He's pulled that off a couple of times.
Yes.
Okay, I want to save that. I'm going to ask Randy if he wants that.
Okay.
So
he may say no. He might say no.
So, and once we get to somewhere we can sell our nifty stuff, we'll split that by 4, since there's only 4 of us here now. Unless you guys want to split off a 5th share to Randy, that's something we should decide.
Right.
Because I pulled in enough. I pulled in 255 total in crowns.
If I'll split mine off 4 ways. If
right, we can't really do that until we can sell them.
Right.
I mean my coins anyway.
You got some coins? Oh, that's right. You found the
chest. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
100 crowns and 350 marks.
Yeah, so it'd be everybody gets 25 crowns, 87 marks, and 5 pence from my treasure chest. Yeah, 87 marks and 5 pence and 25 crowns.
Gotcha.
I will note, unless that does something odd, that will probably net count as 1 item slot, because it's every group of 50 coins. If you're even one coin below, it's free. Every 50 is 1 item slot.
Okay.
But if you were carrying 49 coins, then none. So I think you guys are actually in a really good position to stop for the evening, in part because we've played for, what is that, 3.5 hours, and you are in a room that has only one entrance. So you have and you're close to the spot and have cleared the path from that spot to where you got down here in the first place. So theoretically, if we resume next week and Randy's good, or the next time we play, not next week, but the next time we play, and Randy is with us, he could literally just have been a little bit behind with Derek, drop down the shaft and join you.
Right.
Like he's got a clear path to get to where you are now.
Sounds good to me.
So that'd be my suggestion. And if anyone is interested, this was me drawing the map of where you were.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And for anyone watching, if you're wondering how I'm tracking hit points, I'm using dice right in front of me, organized by where the monsters are relative to the party. And so if you saw the area right in front of me, it'd be a bunch of little stacks of dice tracking the different monsters' hit points. And generally, I leave the players to count their own hit points unless they get suspiciously durable.
Okay, so my character is in a dilemma because he has 506 crowns. You said 50. Every 50 is a standard item.
You got it.
He has 624 marks. And 75 pence.
I have a stupid question. Why didn't you leave your other money in town, like in a chest or something?
Right.
That's what I would. Okay, I'm
taking it you guys left your money with me in my room.
Yeah, Larry's got a place to keep it.
I have a place to keep it. I can keep it separate in my room, so we know who belongs to what.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not just trying to accumulate all the money.
I mean, if you were to suddenly die, then you would leave no heir. But
but yeah. Jen and I actually have a relationship.
Yep.
A working relationship where
Who?
she keeps that money safe. You know the one that stole the crowns from you?
Yeah.
Her and I get along.
They do.
Okay.
They do. So Larry and she have a working relationship, and she is actively helping protect the room.
Okay. So can we just say that I left it there?
Definitely, yeah. Other than the new stuff, of course.
Right.
Do you guys want a drink?
Gets out his pitcher.
I think we can drink some beer really quick.
I don't think we want water. We want beer this time.
I'm passing around a picture of beer.
And then while we're sitting here, I fully regenerate hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. So for next session, Joe may still be wounded a bit. I think he'll be at 10 health. But
do we get experience?
Oh, for sure. As far as experience goes, this should be. I think 4 experience would be fair. I was gonna do 3, but then I remembered the basilisk.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts me at 11 experience, which becomes 1, and I level.
11 experience? You need 12 to level.
Oh, I thought it was 10. No?
Nope.
Okay, because I had 3 dots left, and I just assumed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that put you at 13, so 1 up. Yeah.
How many do we get tonight?
You 4.
4.
4. Okay.
So that means I level up then, correct? Because that
Probably.
fills
How
up
much
all
did you
12 of
have?
mine. It fills up all 12 of mine at level 2.
Then yes.
But that still only nets me 2 hit points, right? I don't.
Going from
You get
level.
feature, too.
What did you just gain level 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 2 hit points, so you'd be at 12, and then you
Okay.
gain a feature.
Yeah. So it's not like leveling resets my hit points.
No, it's not a video game. Leveling does not make
Yeah.
you fully regenerate.
So. But if we rest and I drink another potion the next day, then I can be up to 22.
Yeah.
Or if Randy shows up,
Yes.
Right.
or we do other kinds of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You'll want to put a note on your sheet about that. Let me pull up the calendar, and I think we should probably schedule the next one live, whether it's soon or a little ways out, just so that for anyone who's watching and enjoying following along, that they know when to look for another video. So let me.
Okay, so I have a note on my character sheet here that I have 12 currently.
Okay. You just get over to here. To here.
Assuming we're looking at May.
Yeah, I think we're looking at May. I have.
Post Cabin Con.
Yes. So, I believe May 24th, I'm in another part of the state. So either let me think about when. I'm pretty sure I can just do the 31st. It would be the best date for me if we're doing a Friday anyway.
Right.
And that would be the next available date.
Otherwise, I could try to stick it back to back with some other games. But I think if we, let me try to remember so May, I have Cabin Con with you guys. Then I have out of town, and then the 31st I think is fine. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. I would like to do it sooner, but for one, the next best date would be when we have Cabin Con, and
We'll be okay.
for those making that, and that probably isn't going to work well for streaming given the internet service there.
Right.
Probably not.
Is that okay?
Not really. We're almost done.
So I'm putting it in as on the calendar now. Let me just get here.
31st of May.
6:30 to
Yeah. All that'll be that.
10:30.
Okay, baby.
All right, I've got that on May 31st. Just make sure to go ahead and sign up for that so it's obvious that it's full. And wonderful. Good playing with you guys.
Yeah, good game.
Thank you, Green Apple. I think that went really well. What did you guys think of? You didn't get to see a lot of it because it was just a short section you explored. But what did you think of the mega dungeon thus far?
Oh, just knowing it's a mega dungeon, I'm thinking this is going to work out pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, my curiosity is if we leave and come back, if there's a necessity to do that, which there's going to have to be. There's no way we can realistically stay in this environment long enough to take out 6 bosses unless there's stuff along the way that helps us eat and heal, because that's what we're going to end up having to do.
Yeah.
In between, we can't take out 6 bosses without someone needing to be revived or at least use up a bunch of healing potions. So we will either run into those things or we will have to leave out and come back.
Mm-hmm.
And if we run into some helpful scrolls along the way, then that could work. But I mean,
Yeah.
let's see. Can I even?
If we can flame gate back to this room from town?
Can I eat? Is that a feature?
Is what a feature?
Flame gate.
Nope. Flamegate is a higher tier spell, so you have to be a 5th level character or above to learn it.
And it's is it the Red Wizard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will be able to pick it up, but I have to be a couple levels higher.
Yep.
That's
That'd be
great that you
actually
can
pretty
get
cool.
that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to help us a lot having you have that.
Yeah, it's paired with Fire Step, which is a personal reactive teleport to get out of the way of attacks.
What do you mean by paired with?
Like you get both spells together.
Oh, that's groovy.
Yeah.
All right. So, question.
Mhm.
You were doling out some advice last time about features
Yes.
that you thought would be useful for people leveling. So, my character, you know what my character is. Do any of those apply? I don't remember what they were.
So those two features, no, but pull that up a sec.
Because I'm of the features currently available,
Mm-hmm.
adding dice to my fire spells, or with what's it called, incinerate.
Oh,
Immolate?
yeah, with Immolate.
Yeah, that sounds like a good choice.
I think Immolate would be good, or potentially overwhelming power.
Yeah, there's overwhelming power too, because that adds an extra die to all attack spells, right?
But it's a maneuver, but it's unlimited use. So you could get,
Right.
I'm going to use my maneuver to empower this spell over and over and over, versus Immolate, where you go, I'm going to add just a goofy amount of damage to this specific spell.
One time.
One time. Well, once a day it's here. So when
Once
you
a
hit
day.
level 5, you'll get extra uses naturally. But I think both are good, and it's really a question style-wise what you want to do.
Right, but there's also elemental blade, and considering my character build,
True.
it's okay, but it's essentially what it just does is it adds an extra type option that I can
Right. You've got a similar ability off Toxic, and that's probably fine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then there's what's the other one?
And then
There's a few features that let me add another to get another ability point. I was thinking about that.
True. There's also spells proper, not just like the maneuver ones, which are good. But like
Right.
Orb of Archelius would give you a glowing orb that you can have float away from you that lasts for a fairly long period of time.
Right. So then I wouldn't have to worry about seeing in the dark.
Correct.
But it
and
only
Regulus is very similar to Mage Hand. Elemental Shield would give you the ability to do elemental immunity to a creature of your choice reactively to acid, fire, cold, lightning, or sonic damage. I mean, there are some interesting choices there. Aesir's Bane is quite powerful. So, I think personally, I would lean into your magic if I were you with the pairing you've got.
Yeah, because my combat's pretty strong already.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
All right, I got some stuff to think about.
Cool, man.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm thinking armor mastery myself.
Yeah, Armor Mastery would be pretty good, especially I mean, it's one more defense, but also being able to sleep in your armor is huge if you ever get attacked at night.
Well, especially since I took the heavy hitter already.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would kind of go with what Thogbar is.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. So, good playing with everyone. I should hop off of here in a moment. I am planning to see, I believe, 3 of you in a couple of weeks, right?
Yep.
I am planning to be.
Tim, you've muted yourself.
Sorry, muting out the kids, but yes, I will be there. Beer is just about ready.
Yeah, that I saw something about that on Facebook. Similar setup to last year.
The setup, yeah, it's a different beer, but yeah, it's
Okay.
it could be the keg. I'll put it in that one fridge down in the lunchroom, and anybody can have at it. So,
Awesome. Anything cool about it in particular?
well, this is I don't have the exact recipe, but I based it off my brother's like signature beer that he made. Partly because, well, you know, his son and his son-in-law are going to be there this year, so just
Cool.
kind of, you know, named it Fallen Comrades after my brother. So, you know, just kind of a memorial beer.
Yep. That's pretty neat, man. Yeah, that's good.
So it's a Cascade IPA is what it is. But
Does overwhelming power work with scrolls?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay. That kind of decides it right there.
Nice.
I'll probably be sticking it in the keg either tomorrow or Sunday.
Okay.
And get it pressurized and carbonated, and then be ready to go. So
Cool. And then one other thing to note for, hopefully I'll get to talk with Randy and Joe during CabinCon at some point about Big Geek Con, but
We're not talking to you.
no, I'm gonna hang out. But during Big Geek Con, I think Nate and I are going to try to have a couple demo play tests of the superhero game at that.
Oh, that's cool.
I think we talked about bringing that to CabinCon, but we're in round 2 of playtesting right now, and I have to spend some time to integrate some of those changes that we've gotten from the
Not going to
playtesting
have time.
ahead of time. And I'm currently working on finishing Horde Wars Advanced, so I don't have the time beforehand.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's a thing that's also in development, and
Yes.
hope you guys have a good night. Good
Hey,
playing.
hold on.
Yeah.
Pimp your stuff.
Oh yeah. You can buy Horde Wars Basic on Big Geek Emporium for only $5. It's 194 pages, if I recall correctly, and it's it's a full game, but only goes up to level 4. It's designed for like dungeon delving and that kind of thing. We are working on releasing the advanced version of the game, which is same game but goes up to level 12. It includes things like ruling your own domain, seafaring adventures, and a larger bestiary. So basic, you get over 100 monsters and beasts to fight. I think in advanced you get over 200. So same deal with like artifacts and character options and stuff. There's more of it.
The link will be in the description.
Awesome.
You can order.
All right.
You can order a hard copy of Horde Wars.
Oh yes. You can order a hard copy by emailing us hordewars@blackwallgames.com. That was hordewars@blackwallgames.com. We currently have soft covers of Horde Wars Basic. Shipping is primarily just in the U.S., though I looked into pricing. Canada and Mexico are possible in the event you feel like paying more for shipping.
Yeah, shipping overseas is pretty steep.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Every night.